Real estate transactions are now made easy. Whether buying, selling, or renting residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, or touristic property, we offer the best deals in real estate transactions with professional support, including valuation, material sourcing, and construction. Contact Ed Harris and Associates, your courteous and efficient real estate agents. Call 485-1456 or email caribbiz@gmail.com.
When they were opening the Sandals...
You want to come a little closer? Just bring your... Yes.
When they were opening the Sandals
yes.
Regency,
right.
So John Compton was there and I happened to be there. And he said to me, I wonder what this diamond you have there costs.
Yes.
So I played with him.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I would like you to make a guess.
Right.
Okay? He came with an outlandish figure.
Yeah.
And I smiled. I said, more or less. I said, so John, far less.
Far less.
Yeah. So
yeah.
we talked.
Yeah.
Champagne. Believe it or not, when the Prime Minister graduated at the American University, when he got his master's degree.
Yes.
I happened to be there. And they were dishing out those things. That's probably cost $5. But it's just imitation.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, it looks good.
And,
it's a very
and
nice.
Sends the message.
Yes, it does. Yes. It's a very nice typing.
Yeah,
it's a very nice typing. I saw you brought me, as always, the headlines. What we have here today, it says tourism workers to adapt operations to comply with the requirements of COVID. Yeah, that is good news because they have to. No quarantine for returning nationals and visitors. That is not another set of good news. No quarantine. And what this is the Voice newspaper and what we have here. Well, we've heard of this one. That was the weekend's paper. US renews security assistance to St. Lucia. That is big. That is big. So, Michael, let me ask you the question I asked Mr. Josie earlier. Can you give what you don't have?
Yeah.
Can someone give what they don't have?
They can, but it's usually rubbish.
But if you don't, because Philip Pierre continues to offer the people of St. Lucia, every time he gets into a press conference or a TV sit-down, is offering the people homes and lands and give away monies. But he doesn't have those things. So how can he give what he doesn't have?
Champagne, let me just put Philip Pierre in a nutshell. Philip Pierre is a basket case.
A basket?
A basket case.
Yeah.
Because the gentleman right now has lost all sense of reality.
Mm-hmm. I believe that.
Even his own people are saying, why doesn't he stop talking? Because every time he says something foolish, I mean, I listened to Norbert last night, okay? He was quite detailed in what he said. How can you make all those promises and still run a country? Mm-hmm. The man has to be a lunatic.
He has to be.
It is crazy, Champagne.
He has to be.
And it's pathetic. It's pathetic. But you know something? I really believe, Champagne, that St. Lucians are aware of what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
I really think so.
Brother Josie, it has worked before, and you are a member of the Labour Party. I don't know if you guys used that strategy at that time, but apparently they are preying on the ignorance of our people, and they think it's working today. Because when you make promises to people in that manner, someone that doesn't have a piece of property or house will say, boy, Labour Party is giving houses, let me vote for them. Labour Party is giving land. But that never materializes. It never happens.
You see, they say if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. So even though a guy is poor, it doesn't mean that he can't fancy himself a rich person.
Yes.
You must never forget that,
Mm-hmm.
And if you tell him as a political party that he supports, that you're going to do A, B, C for him, even though you haven't done it in the last 40 or 50 years, this guy's mind is so tired that he accepts the nonsense that you tell him.
You think it's working in today's politics? In the minds of our people, Sir Michael? You think it is working, those promises to the people?
You'll always find some dreamers that will hang on to a straw throughout life, okay?
Yes.
But I think we should not underestimate St. Lucians. when I was coming here tonight, I told this morning, I
Yeah.
had on your program, and I heard a lady, just before I walked in,
Yeah.
telling you that do not make the mistake to change this government. She
Yes.
was on the phone. I mean, you're
Yes,
on the
yes,
phone,
yes, yes,
And
from
she gave
Canada.
all her reasons.
Mhm.
I don't know who the lady
Yes,
is.
he calling from Canada.
From Canada.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yes,
You see what I
yes.
mean? People all the way in Canada,
Oh, yeah.
in the States,
They call out from
London, are realizing what it is,
Oh, yeah.
okay?
Oh, yeah.
Diaspora, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Champagne, it's not a matter of changing St. Lucia. They have, as Guy and the Prime Minister said, you're creating a new St. Lucia.
That is
I
right.
mean, how many times I've heard you talk about the airport,
Oh,
the
yeah.
terminal, you know, and what you're raising a standard. Can you imagine? You talk about it all the time, Champagne. You live in Marchand. You've seen no change
No,
in 25
absolutely.
years. Okay?
Absolutely not.
That must be very frustrating.
It is
to-
very
As a
frustrating.
young man where you were born, to see your home be deteriorating.
And not just that,
Ah.
other constituencies that were way below Marshall and Constituencies have surpassed Marshall by miles. By miles.
Let me tell you,
You know,
something. I got a
it's
call
very
yesterday
sad.
from somebody in Labrie, and they said, you know, my voice is in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
He says, when I see what's happening elsewhere, and Labrie has not moved in 30 years
Yeah,
from
that-
what it was,
Sad.
we have to ask ourselves a question: when will we ever change?
Yeah, sad.
And he said, the guy said something, Champagne. He said, look, I know Labrie is a stronghold for the United,
No,
for the
SLP.
Labour Party,
Mhm.
but don't be surprised if you see a miracle this year.
I said that too.
Yeah. He said, because they are waking up. Champagne, I drove down to the south on Sunday. I went to Mico, to the services with the Prime Minister and his family, and I looked around at Mico, and I asked myself a question. Mico to Labrie is not more than 30-minute drive.
No, exactly.
How can the thinking be so different between
That's right.
one town
Community,
to
yes.
another?
That's a
You know
good
what I mean?
question to
One
ask
village to
yourself.
another,
Yeah.
okay? The people in Labrie have to see nothing has happened there.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's sad, huh?
But you know
Very
something?
sad.
But the worst part, Sir Michael, Labrie as a village
Oh.
compared to Mico
Much better.
had a better foundation
Yes.
Definitely.
and has produced more brilliant St. Lucian minds, qualified people than Mico.
But I'll go one step
So,
further.
Peter, what do you
Marshall.
think is the reason? What do you think?
Because I think it was rechristened the little village of Laborie.
Laborie.
It was christened,
okay.
rechristened 40
Yeah.
years ago by none other than a former judge. Sir
You know,
Alan-
Champagne-
But I'll tell you something, Sir Michael.
Yeah.
People from Labrie will tell you today that they're better off in Labrie than Marshall.
Yeah.
And I'm very, listen, it's sad for me to be saying that
Yeah.
as someone from that constituency. I love my area. This is
Yeah.
where I was born. I
think
still
I
reside
think
there.
one of the reasons for it, Champagne, is that Marcia is in close proximity to Castries,
yes.
and a lot of people who came to look for it created a ghetto in Marcia.
Yes.
That's what really happened.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Whereas in Labrie, there had been nothing.
Yeah.
So it's still it's still virgin territory.
Yes, there was never a development plan for Marshall.
You know,
The
yeah.
only person that had some kind of plan was Roman Danzigo. After that, the other people that took over never structured anything. They never put anything like in a plan.
But there's no interest.
Yes, yeah,
Champagne.
that's the word.
You know, I'll tell you something. When I was chairman of the Invest St. Lucia
Yeah.
under the Dr. Anthony regime, okay, I went down to Labrie and we restructured an idea of what was going to happen, okay? And that dock there that they built,
Right.
I was part of the persons who precipitated that by saying to them, look at me, Labrie is such a beautiful village. It could be a great tourism attraction.
Yes.
It's close to Vieux-Fort. In one sense, Champagne, it is better because it has a closed bay, right? And the sea doesn't get that rough inside
That's right.
there.
That's
and
right.
it has a nice beach. And, you know, we started doing putting some ideas together, and it just fell apart.
Wow.
Labrie could be wonderful.
It is a beautiful place.
That whole area, Champagne, can more or less be equivalent to the west coast of Barbados.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
it's a
gonna-
lovely area. But you know something? Nothing before
But
that.
it's going to take a lot of work, Brother Josie, to really restructure the village itself, and not the outskirts, because of what the place is. The homes are all clustered together. The
It has
roofs.
to be done in stages.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, the first thing they have to do is to deal with the waterfront. Let me tell you something. What was Grossery before they put
Yes,
the marina?
exactly.
Nothing.
Yes,
Look
yes.
at it today.
Yes, it's true.
So, like everything else, if you have a basin of water and you drop a pebble, you get ripples.
That's true.
As soon as you drop that first
Yes,
pebble,
yes.
everything's
Everything,
solved.
that's
But
right.
I believe, Sir Michael, with due respect, that the first thing you ought to do is change the representative, change the people's minds.
Well, I agree with
Unless
that.
you change the people's minds,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
or if they begin the process by having a new representative,
Yeah.
then the process will really take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to go to something there with our friend, Buddy. So, Kamaku,
Who is Buddy?
you'll see his face on the screen. Kamaku, I sent you a photo earlier this morning. Can you put it up on the screen? Because when we think that we are mightier than God and we are more larger than life, and nothing could happen to us. You know, sometimes during election time, they put candidates, they hang them on a pole.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have, I've seen Sarah Floyd, you see the various candidates,
Yeah, yeah.
they put them on a pole. Well, look at that. Who you think that is?
Yeah.
Can you zoom on that just a little further? I don't know if you can. Who you think? Look at the face, the top of it.
Can
Who
I,
you think that is?
can I help you?
And look at after the can I help you what it says. It says no. Look at the top of the photo.
Yeah.
Who's that picture?
Sassy don't want him.
it
New
looks like
Village don't
Richard.
want him. Graveyard don't want him.
Right.
Flambeau don't want him. SLP don't want him. He's done.
So-
but
But
that's
Champion,
very true.
I have a difficulty, you know,
Yeah.
because my politics,
Leave it up there, producers, please.
In
Let's
my-
leave it up for a little
in
while.
my politics, buddy is a nice name for a friend or a buddy of yours.
Yes.
I would never refer to this guy as buddy. Never.
Well, that's what Norbert
Because
refers
you
him
guys
as.
are really soft, man.
No,
and
not
kind.
me. That's what Norbert refers him as.
But you don't have to follow Norbert.
No, but listen to me.
Buddy.
Which-
Buddy is a guy that you actually call a buddy if he's your friend. This guy is no friend of anybody, including the Labour Party. Okay?
Well,
Don't call him buddy in my
well, I
presence.
named his political party. The name is RFA, and that stands for Richard Frederick Alone.
Yeah.
That's what he
You know,
represents.
actually, somebody sent me a WhatsApp this morning.
Yes.
A party who had a ding dong last night
Yeah.
with buddies, I have to use it, sister, okay,
Yes.
who's also a lawyer.
Yes.
And his sister said, it is so unfair that Buddy is such a kind and respectable man. Why is St. Lucia against him to that extent?
Yeah.
Okay? All his sister has to do is to do some own investigation of her own, and she probably come up with
So,
it.
Michael, let me take that one step further. I remember Mr. Frederick, and I'll give him his due respect, when he came into UWP. He was embraced. The man was loved. Listen to me, the man was my buddy. I could use that word at that time. I don't know if I could use it now, because from the time I got to support Alan, he has become my enemy. I have become his enemy, not me, he become his enemy. But this man, during the time of UWP, he was seen as a prince. All of UWP embraced the man. But for some reason, he has an issue with the Prime Minister, personal issue, and he hates everyone that supports the Prime Minister, including
is it
me.
the Prime-
Not only the any prime minister. Look at what he said about Dr. Anthony, in all fairness.
Yes.
Okay? And we're going to run the tape again in a while. You see, I'll tell you something in life, Champion. Not many people can handle power. And I concur with you. When Richard Frederick first got into power,
Yeah.
I didn't know who Richard Frederick was.
Right.
He looked like a very flamboyant person
Yeah.
there. And, you know, he came up from the ranks, and I did respect the guy
Yes,
when
we
he
all
first
did.
got into power.
Yeah.
But what has happened to the guy? He's gone crazy for several things. He's crazy. The man is an absolute lunatic. He's an absolute lunatic. Can you imagine, Champion? For 6 years, to continue to hate somebody
Yes.
and to hate everybody.
That surrounds that individual. Yes.
It's not normal.
Yeah, yeah.
My father always said, Michael, there are more lunatics at large than there are in the asylum.
That is
And
true.
I was a young guy when he said so, and I
you-
said to my, what is my father telling me about?
Yeah.
Oh, this man is crazy.
Yes.
But I now see what the guy is saying. You know, this morning I was listening to Andre Paul
Yeah.
for a short while, and Andre was talking about hatred, the
Yeah.
same thing with hatred. And Andre was saying he just could not understand to the extent some people will go
Yes.
as far as that is concerned, you know. And you know something? You would think, Champagne, that after 1 year, 2 years, that people would sit back and say, ask themselves a question, where am I going wrong in life?
Yes.
This man
Never
is like
stops.
I understand he was in Sofra last night, drinking rum, making a lot of scandal, passing a lot of unnecessary remarks.
But what is driving him with this behavior, Sir Michael? I don't understand it.
Listen to me.
What is driving this
It
behavior?
is power and wealth.
Correct.
This guy, I'm ashamed to say, but I will say it in the best way I can,
Yeah.
using the softest possible words. When he was at St. Mary's College, he used to wear the same uniform for a whole week. So by Friday, there are young boys his age who would not sit next to him. And I'm sure you know why.
Yeah.
Okay? It's
But
not
I'm
for
hearing
looks.
that. I'm hearing that for the first time.
It's not for looks, right?
Yes.
And this guy used to live behind the health center
Yes,
somewhere.
and I know you live there. Yes.
This guy has now been able to leave the police force, leave St. Mary's College, the police force, and to all intents and purposes has acquired some wealth. How
So
does
he
it?
did well.
He did well financially.
Yes.
How he did it, that's not my business.
Right.
I'm not putting my mouth in that.
Right.
Plus, he has gotten very close to the Prime Minister's office because he was a member of cabinet.
Yes.
Thanks to Sir John and the UWP. I was on the boulevard that night when Stephenson King gave him a yellow T-shirt of the UWP and said that he is ripe, and he repeated it. I ripe.
Yes.
You ripe.
Yes.
Because he
Yes.
was
I remember
another
that
color
time.
before,
That's
right?
right. Yes.
So all that has happened is that this guy now, when he looks around at even the people who brought him into the UWP, he feels he's superior to all of them, including the ones whose name I just mentioned.
Yes. Yes.
And that is a person who does not know how to control power or wealth. That is the problem. There are a lot of people like that, who don't know if God sends something their way, how to handle it. He used to talk a lot about religion, and God. I used to listen to him sometimes. I don't know when last I listened to Richard, and I will not waste my time listening to a person like Richard because I know what he is. When you want to know a man's mind, his mind,
Yeah.
you listen to what he says because that's something he has thought about and is taking it from his mind to his mouth. When you want to know what his heart is, which is even better for you to know, you watch what he does.
Okay.
What Sir Michael just described about a man going to Sufra talking nonsense and that. I mean, what normal person would do that? So watch his actions. Don't listen to what he says if you don't want to know what is in his soul, in his heart. As the old people used to say, unfortunately,
Yeah. Yeah.
that is what makes the man, what is in his heart. And if you want to know what it is in his heart, you watch what he does.
Yeah.
Not what he says, okay?
Yeah.
So that's my lesson for the day. I'm not talking about
So,
him.
Michael, I also believe there's an egoistic issue with the gentleman.
Sorry?
I think there's an egoistic issue. His ego. I think if because of what he is, a lawyer, he has some money, a businessman.
He has several buildings.
He has some buildings. So
Several
he
buildings.
figured that you should not say anything in the negative about him. Are you sensing that?
Yeah, I share that. Champagne, let me say something to you. Within his heart, Richard Frederick knows he's a discredited individual.
He knows
He's fighting for recognition
Yeah.
from every source. Look, when the most powerful nation on earth can zoom in on an individual like that
Yes.
and withdraw their view and say, look at me, you are not
Welcome to
persona
my
in our
country.
country.
Yes.
That's a real slap in the face.
It is.
And what St. Lucians have to understand, when this man is around babbling, talking his nonsense, let us assume you put Richard Frederick in power. He cannot even leave St. Lucia.
Yes.
He dare not go to the UK, right? He's afraid to go anywhere because they may nab him at any time. Let me tell you something. He thinks that Stephenson King is an idiot. Stephenson King is 20 times smarter than him.
Yes.
Stephenson King listens to all the foolishness he's talking. Remember what happened in the last elections? He tried all his nonsense. Where did Stephenson King?
Yes.
Right in the United Workers' Party.
Yeah.
Right now, he's under Stephenson King's coattail, trying and begging
Yeah.
to
There's a lot of
recognition.
rumors going on right now.
Stephenson King is just playing with him.
Yes.
But Sir Michael,
Yes.
Sir Michael, in 2011,
Yeah.
when Sir John made Stephenson King Prime Minister, it was Richard who caused Stephenson King to lose the elections.
Correct.
A lot of people were telling Richard, we're telling King, and I know that.
Yeah.
Because I used to be close to Richard too, you know.
Yeah.
When he was going out for the first time
Yeah.
as an independent up next to the Health Center there,
Yeah.
his main woman came right at my home to say, Mr. Josie, I have come to you because Mr. Frederick asked me to come to you. Richard asked me to come and speak to you. I said,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
He wants you to come tomorrow night to think, will you come? I said, boy, I have known Richard's father and mother very well. I know Richard very well. He has not done me anything. As a matter of fact, I went to speak to Sir John for Richard. Richard never asked me. I went on my own to Sir John's office.
Yes. Wow.
So I said, yes, I'll come.
Yes.
So that's to show you, when I saw a young man I thought who had potential, I said, boy, that looked like a little odd number. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll come and support you.
Yeah.
But from the time he won, and he went on the UWP thing,
Everything changed.
all his ego, his everything
Yes,
got too
yes,
big for him.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you see the thing you said about the US and England?
Yeah.
This is what is eating at Frederick's heart. You know,
Let me tell you
Peter.
something, Peter.
That is what is eating him up.
The same way that he caused the United Workers' Party to lose the elections when his visas were withdrawn.
Yes.
Isn't it ironic that just before elections, you have a U.S. ambassador coming down to St.
Yes,
Lucia
that
again
is ironic.
to do what he has to say?
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Lord knows what was discussed when that U.S. ambassador came.
Yeah.
As somebody said,
With the Prime Minister.
Yeah, the U.S. ambassador and these people, they know exactly what's going on in St. Lucia.
They know everything.
These people know everything.
can
They
see
know
us right
more than
now.
you and I.
They can see us
But
right now in this program.
So Michael, let me tell you something that
That's the
happened.
message you're sending to St.
That is
Lucia.
right.
Let me tell you something that happened to me last week.
Yeah.
I was at a certain place, and a guy whom I know quite well, I respect him. He didn't go to any secondary school, but he's very bright, very smart. He said to me, Mr. Josie, Mr. Michael, Alan Chastney is very close to the Americans. He seemed to be supporting the Americans. I said, let me say something to you, my friend. If you were an American government and you had a choice between Dr. Anthony or Philip Pierre and Michael and Alan Chastney, which one would you support? You remember when Biden was vice president
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he was coming to Trinidad to
Yes.
speak to the guys. They invited our prime minister at the time, Dr. Anthony. He didn't go.
He sent
He
Pierre.
sent Philip Pierre.
Yeah.
The people in America and in the developed world, they don't forget things like that.
And that-
and hold on. The way Alan has spoken about the Americans and cooperated with them,
yes.
if you had somebody, if America had somebody to choose to carry a flag for them in the
Yes,
Caribbean,
yeah.
whom do you think they would
Exactly.
choose? Alan
Yeah,
Chastney
we-
or Philip Pierre?
Yes. And listen to that. Who was the vice president? That invitation was extended to the Caribbean leaders.
Biden.
It was Biden. Who is the president today?
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
Who is the
Let's
president
put those
today?
things
Put
together.
that together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put that together.
And you know,
Put it in perspective.
the
So
state.
like a show champion.
Yes.
You work at the airport.
Yes.
Last Friday, you told me 1,500
Yes.
people came.
Saturday.
only.
Yes.
America is the only nation now, because UK and Canada have not unlocked yet.
No, not
right?
totally.
As a result of that, you're talking of over 10,000 tourism workers are back at their jobs.
at work.
And I just saw in the papers today, and 1,300 taxi people have been vetted.
Yeah.
Now tell me something. If you didn't have that, if America decides tomorrow, hey, what is St. Lucia? A little speck of
that's
dust.
speck.
Our planes
Don't
we're not
allow
flying
them to fly there. That's
We
right.
are dead.
We are finished.
You don't mess around with people
That
like
is
that.
right.
America is ahead of the
Very
free world.
good point.
you know?
Very
But,
good point.
Alan,
Very good
You
point.
said something that needs to be repeated.
Yeah.
After Hurricane Allen in 1980,
1980.
I was Minister of Agriculture. I went up to America afterwards, being invited there by the State Department to see how, what is my thought and how we could help, how they could help.
Yeah.
I saw maps of St. Lucia
Yeah.
that I'd never seen before.
You see that?
These people know where every house in St.
Every
Lucia
house.
is, where every politician
That's
is, what
right.
car he drives, and
And
where
1980, yeah? You talking?
1980.
That's 40 years ago.
These people have more interest in the Caribbean and knowing everything,
Yeah.
because they will not let the Caribbean be undermined and some communist thing take it over and things
That's
like that,
right.
and then threaten America.
Let me tell you, Pete, how that happened. When my cousin Orlan Monplessis was a surveyor, okay, and I forgot the name of the company, the Americans sent a team down, Champagne, to resurvey the whole of St. Lucia. Were you aware of that?
No.
Okay.
I knew the Canadians did something. I don't know.
Who know?
I thought it was the Canadians that one
America.
time. America was? Okay.
Let me tell you something. St. Lucia has the best land registration situation in the Caribbean.
Oh, wow.
Every square inch of land in St. Lucia is today marked because these people, I forgot the name of the company that came down, okay?
Yeah.
Champagne, as Peter says, you can go now on a map anywhere in the world and look for Champagne's house and we focus on it.
In
You
America.
can get your house in Marchand.
In America.
Yes.
So even as we speak, they may be
They
listening
know
to us.
everything.
Yes, yes.
And
yes.
when
Tell you something, that ambassador didn't arrive here by chance. you know.
No.
St. Lucians have to take a little warning what is going on.
Yes.
This lady has come down. Just imagine how many millions of dollars in savings, all the ammunition they're going to
Yes,
give back to the
yes. Police.
money for the police boats,
Yes.
all this kind of thing. The training, okay? They see what's going on. Let me tell you something. Within another, I would say Champagne, another 5-6 months, that whole impact thing is gone.
I believe.
But not only that,
I
Sir
believe
Michael, that is the point
Yes.
that St. Lucians miss.
Yeah.
The point about it, the lady came and said that this is what the American government, her government has decided to do.
Yeah.
Ease up on the training and things of a certain section,
A section,
of
yes.
the police force.
That's right.
But guess what? Everybody who is following and has common sense, Sir Michael,
Yeah.
what you just said, they know that already.
Yes, yes,
They
yes,
know it
yes,
already.
yes.
Champagne, I have done a little preamble.
Yes,
I
yes.
would like to just read it
Okay.
in sections.
And we're going to do it in
because
sections,
It
yes.
hinges on what we're talking about,
Right.
okay?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. The heading of this is Wisdom, Foresight, and Determination Prevails as Election Chimes Fill the Airwaves. Got that?
Yeah, I got it.
The St. Lucian government has once more demonstrated its ability in overcoming two major international hurdles. The first achievement is the removal from the EU grey list. A lot of people have not remembered or forgotten that.
Yeah, we.
Are you aware of what the grey list is?
Oh, yeah,
I will
we
tell you.
were on that
Okay?
list.
For those unfamiliar with the EU grey list, it signifies a bona fide list created by the European Union for checks and balances associated with the financial services of the region. Any adverse measures implemented within that sector seriously affects the foreign exchange earnings of that sector and by extension becomes a negative factor towards the economy of any state. Despite the complete caution and sensibility of this situation, this administration was able to achieve an acceptable agreement which not only permitted the industry to perform, but placed Central back in the fold of respectability with the European Union. Let me tell you something. All these islands, Barbados included, were first put on a black list.
Yeah.
And when they started to scream, they put them on a grey list. That means that you couldn't operate. Financial services is a very, very high-tech and productive industry because what it does, you don't see it, Champagne, but people can invest in St. Lucia as though they're in Europe. For instance, a man having a company in Europe and he wants to invest in St. Lucia where the tax is a bit less, he can invest. St. Lucia makes a lot of money. That's a very, imagine that. I think the financial service industry in Barbados a couple of years ago surpassed the income of tourism.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
That's big.
When you look as an individual of the number of people coming in, and just imagine financial services, which is not known to the ordinary man, okay, produces as much money. This Prime Minister was able to negotiate and take St. Lucia off the grey list.
That is big.
It's amazing.
That is big. That is huge.
I mean,
Yes.
it's huge.
Yes, yes, that is huge stuff. Huge stuff.
So that's the first hurdle
Yeah.
that has been crossed in recent times. Do you think Richard Frederick could ever do something like that?
No, not in, don't even mention.
He's not
it.
in that class.
No.
He has no class.
Yeah, he's
The
not
man
in that.
has no class. Right? The man has no class. Okay. Now, the second achievement was the decision by the US government to lift several embargoes against the RSLP. Granted that this decision had existed for close to 10 years, it clearly shows the seriousness of the US decision. It is so sad that when certain administrations, for political mileage, can create such an unnecessary tangled web, it remains disturbing. We shall not embark on the ills of the past, but suffice to say, it was not easy for the current administration to sift through the maze of errors which were inherited based on what was initially presented to the U.S. authority and the unprofessional handling of the information gathered. Be it as it may, the evidence is gradually unfolding, and it is only a question of time when closure will be determined. Let me say something to you. It has been said, but I don't know to how many people the facts resonated. The information needed by the DPP was sitting in Jamaica. Can you imagine that you had an administration supposed to be qualified, bungled everything, and put St. Lucia in a mess?
In a mess.
For 8 years.
Yes, sir.
Creating a despondent police force. That's very sad and worrisome.
Yeah.
And you tell me you're going to put those people back into power?
Yeah. You remember Dr. Anthony came out with a report and read it. No one saw what he was reading. He read what he wanted to read.
You know? Unbelievable. And all that happened around the time that Richard Frederick's visas were revoked.
Yeah.
All that put St. Lucia in a very bad light. 1 second. Thirdly, another blatant lie by Buddy, which has backfired on him and the St. Lucia Labour Party, was the decision some 6 years ago by the SLP to purchase 9.7 acres of land in the Canaries area for the construction of a dolphin park.
Yes.
Now, Champagne, remember, a dolphin park that all those individuals at the National Trust were screaming about.
Oh, my dear boy.
They never said a word.
Yeah.
And I want St. Lucia to understand and to put those facts together so they understand clearly the kind of people that are undermining St. Lucia.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about that dolphin park.
Yes.
There was a meeting that was called at the Bay Gardens. Concerned citizens, National Trust. There were hundreds of persons there. Hundreds of people at that meeting, all against the dolphin park at Pigeon Island. For that reason, the dolphin park was squashed because so many people thought, but we never saw one single meeting about the ones that were about to be built down in Canaries. The same National Trust again. Not a word.
Not a word.
Not one word.
I'll tell you something, Champagne. For me, I respect other people's opinion.
Yeah.
And I want people to respect mine. As a business person, I would support a dolphin park 100%.
Yeah,
I personally. I'm not saying it should be done.
I agree.
I hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
All the evidence they were using that Richard Branson will stop bringing people on Virgin
Where's
Hair
Virgin today?
because you're incarcerating the mammals.
Where's Virgin?
Okay, they made their case.
Yeah.
They won their case.
They won it, yeah.
But all we're asking is, why wasn't it not said when the Labour Party gave not one, but 2 areas?
Yes.
The same Rodney Bay area by Pigeon Island, they were putting one right there and down there. Spent all that money and fabricated everything so the man can have the Queen's chain.
And took the man's land, you know. Took the man's land down there, you know.
Can you imagine that?
Took acquired the people's land, you know. This Dr. Anthony guy.
And tell you something, I'm so happy that we have a person like Norbert. Who spelled it out clearly last night. And even for me, Champagne, who knew the facts. But after watching the Norbert show, I understand even better. That's why I've been able to write on it today. Of what has been done. You know, and it is crazy, you know, and it is hurtful that still today you have a sort of jokers in the National Trust trying to block Cabot, okay? And you have a small island, you keep talking about unemployment, people creating employment, bringing investment to a country, and this nonsense goes on. Anyway, let me just finish the other part of it. There was total silence and zero transparency when the land was transferred to the developer. Now imagine that. They talk now of foreigners, friends and family. There was total silence and zero when this parcel of land was purchased on behalf of a developer to construct a dolphin park. Take into account that the Queen's Chain could only be leased to the developer if the adjacent lands were purchased. The St. Lucia Labour Party happens to be a party that despises foreigners. But when convenient, they deliberately embark upon the decision that they have always decried.
When convenient.
Buddy, the evil genius, concocted a total fabrication, giving the impression that the whole affair was masterminded by the United Workers' Party, when in fact the current government had absolutely nothing to do with the whole arrangement. The motto of this story is very clear. Birds of a feather fly together. And we now leave it to the public to decide for themselves the unscrupulous behavior of Buddy and company. Let me tell you, you see that man, Buddy Richard Frederick? St. Lucians need to take note today. Watch him carefully. He's a dangerous animal. Okay? That must be watched. Because this man can destroy St. Lucia, okay, with a few dollars he's had, okay, and talking foolishness all about the place. He will meet his Waterloo. Because I'm telling you, Uncle Sam is not asleep.
Okay.
And Buddy knows what I'm talking about. Uncle Sam is not asleep. Okay? Now, I want the camera crew, please, to put on his tape as a reminder to St. Lucia the kind of information that he had, why Prime Minister Dr. Anthony, former Prime Minister, took the necessary decisions he took as far as Buddy was concerned, and also his reaction to Dr. Anthony, which has not gone. Anybody who's in power today, anybody, like a Prime Minister, Buddy is going to get to a lunatic because he intends to get there. But he has to understand, we do not want him in the seat of power. He is too dangerous. He's toxic.
In other words, Champagne, Buddy is nobody.
Nobody, RFA. All right, our producers, can you put up
put up that tape?
The tape there with Mr. Frederick and
the Labour Party government would not have a convicted criminal in its cabinet.
You want to start that again?
Kenny Anthony.
Can you please start that again, please?
A Labour Party government would not have a convicted criminal in its cabinet.
You, Dr. Kenny Anthony, you are a pathological, compulsive, blatant liar, deceiver.
These are the reasons why the U.S. would revoke a U.S. diplomatic visa. Terrorist activity, drug trafficking, human trafficking, money laundering. Which one of these applies to Richard Frederick?
A Labour government would not have a drug baron in its cabinet.
Kenny, tonight I call you a categorical, compulsive, pathetic, categorical liar.
Tell Richard Frederick to stay in his section.
So this is those statements made by the two individuals.
You see, St. Lucia, what you have just witnessed, this is the reality. The same man that's laying on the ground and begging the landlord to take him in today. He puts it one foot in that Labour Party. He'll cause endless confusion, and St. Lucia will pay the price again. You cannot have those people. We as a nation, we're a small country. We are progressing nicely. We have the recognition of the international community. That kind of individual should be far away. Okay, because his problems are not over, Champagne. His problems are not over.
Producer, could you put the hanging back up, please? The hanging on the wires with our hanging. Because I want to read something, what it says on the hanging. And for a lot of people that have not seen it on Facebook, the hanging of the photo you put up earlier, the first photo we put up earlier. Okay, so here's what it says. Sanssouci don't want him. New Village, and we're talking about the Castries Central Basin. New Village don't want him. Graveyard don't want him. Flambeau don't want him. SLP don't want him. He's done. And look at what it says. Can I help you? And it says no. Now, you may look at this as just, a baba, a joke. But 1 second, Mr. Michael. This is not a joke. It may take just one or two individuals to put that up. But the kind of individual I know Mr. Frederick is, with that huge ego, that is not good for him.
No.
That is not good for him. If someone was to put in the Martian areas a picture of champagne upside down and say, common criminal or no good SOB, and I'm driving down seeing that thing hanging there, I'm not taking that light. I'm not taking that lightly. That goes through the heart. So this right there, this speaks of volumes. Very, very
Champagne,
serious stuff.
The licking that Sarah Flood will put on him.
Of course.
Let him go up there.
He knows that.
Let him come.
He knows that.
He will get the licking of his life.
Yeah.
Okay? The licking of his life here.
Anyway, we talk about this man or too long. We want to talk about something that makes a much more sense, and that has to do with the U.S. renewal security assistance. So, Peter, walk us through that, how significant that is for St. Lucia. After 10 years of the U.S. not being able to give us any kinds of assistance in our police department, and last week we heard the good news from the U.S. ambassador. Now, that news didn't get, the ambassador was the messenger, but that had to come from higher departments like the State Department.
But I've told you what it is already, Champagne. I've told you about the conversation I had with an ordinary St. Lucian, an average St. Lucian, about the Prime Minister of St. Lucia and his relationship to America. That lady ambassador did not visit St. Lucia by accident.
No.
The timing was not accidental. And if the Labour Party is smart, they would know what that means. They would know what that means.
Yeah.
America, England, Canada, France, Germany, Europe, where have you, they will, none of them, interfere directly in the elections of these little islands.
No.
They will not do that.
No.
But trust me.
It doesn't benefit them.
Trust me. You will know where their sentiments are.
Yes, their preference.
And timing in politics is everything. You see the fact that this lady came, the ambassador came to make that statement, as Sir Michael said, and it needs to be repeated. The Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Alan Michael Shasley, will never reveal to the people of St. Lucia or to his father what secret conversations he had when he met one-on-one with the ambassador.
I agree, I believe you.
Prime ministers don't do that.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who their father or mother is. Prime ministers don't do that. They must be able to keep confidential conversations confidential.
Yes.
Neither will the ambassador reveal to anybody except her prime minister or her minister, president, or the minister for foreign affairs, as they call it, the State Department.
The State Department, yes.
You understand? But people like Sir Michael, myself, yourself, and others who understand, they know, we know that timing was not accidental.
No.
We know the assistant to the police would bring a big relief to the members of the force and the commissioner of police. Did you see the people that were invited at the head table?
Yes, I saw them.
The minister himself was not even there at the point when they were taking questions.
Yes.
It was the commissioner, the prime minister,
yes,
the ambassador, and the ambassador's assistant.
Yeah.
A military person again.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right.
And guess who was chairing the ceremony? Sarah Flood Bobren.
Yes, the foreign minister.
You know, I'll tell you.
That was great stuff.
You know, you and I have been with Mr. Josie doing the show for how many months now?
Months,
We say certain things. I throw out certain things just for discussion sometimes. From day one, I gave my little piece about when the elections should be held.
All of us did.
But Peter Josie just said something. And I can say it now because the elections are on the corner. The Prime Minister, Champagne, I say to you, has never discussed anything about the election. To date, I don't even know when elections are going to be.
I know you don't.
Okay? I do not know. I honestly don't know.
But you should not know.
So I agree with you. But I want to get a message out to the public for those who sent a message to say that I am the de facto Prime Minister of St. Lucia.
Really?
People can say what they want.
People could say what
but you know something? They'll say whatever they want.
People will say what they want.
But as Peter was in politics, Prime Ministers don't repeat those kind of things.
That's confidential stuff.
Same thing with Kenny Anthony.
Exactly. I was about to say that.
I was very close to Kenny Anthony, and I'll give. Kenny Anthony never discussed anything privately like that with me.
Yes.
And neither did I ask the gentleman.
Yes.
Not my business.
I agree.
But as a citizen, I can make
Exactly.
I'm a citizen.
Exactly.
Let me just finish one little part, and
Okay.
then so we can get on. Okay.
All right.
What do it? Okay. The election bell may not be officially rung, but the chimes are already in the air, and both parties appear ready to do battle, besides a shortfall of 2 candidates for the St. Lucia Labour Party. As usual, both sides have voiced their positive outcomes, but based on the physical evidence of accomplishments by the incumbent, one wonders whether the opposition is in any position to remain optimistic. The reliance on the SLP to have an independent person serve as their mouthpiece is a sign of weakness, especially a discredited individual with tons of baggage strapped all over him. But desperation comes in various forms, and most times not necessarily what we wish for. The current administration has claimed the respect of the international community in several ways, and to date, as the COVID pandemic slowly winds down, St. Lucia has turned out to be the most sought-after destination for U.S. arrivals within the OECS, Barbados included. Barbados. When I tell my friends in Barbados that in one day you have 10 flights with 1,500 persons.
They don't believe that.
They think that's impossible.
They don't believe
They said that's nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, that's my final part.
Yeah.
Hotel accommodation on the island revolves in the 90s today for the U.S. market alone. For the past 90 days, there's been an average of 6 daily flights, averaging 700 visitors per day, and at weekends, 10 flights per day, with incoming numbers reaching as high as 1,500. From July 1st, British Airways expects to offer a daily flight from Heathrow, and incoming numbers should be in the high 70s based on the decisions that both St. Lucia and the UK governments are permitting anyone with a double vaccination not to be quarantined at their various destinations. This is all truly remarkable for the current administration and their wisdom for keeping the nation's borders open in the midst of a pandemic, despite calls for a lockdown.
Yes.
The Prime Minister indicated several months ago that COVID would be around for quite a while and advised the nation that we learn to coexist with COVID, and this has been the determining factor for our incredible success today.
Yeah.
I say something to you. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a scientist. I have common sense.
Yeah.
I sat last night in my bedroom and I thought of something, Champagne. Right now, our numbers are down quite a bit, despite the fact that only 12% of the St. Lucia has been vaccinated, which is still ahead.
It's very low. Yeah.
What I'm seeing, Champagne, both in St. Lucia and the United States, is that after 18 months of the pandemic, people appear to be building up their own immunity.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. When you had the flu,
Yeah.
which started years ago, every year people got sick.
Every year.
But what happened? They took it. Eventually, the virus is going to be like an
It's like going to
COVID
be
will
like the
just
common
another
cold.
virus,
Like the
okay?
common cold.
You see,
Yeah.
a common cold,
Yeah.
because people are slowly building up their immunity.
Exactly. We
The
have learned.
5,000 St. Lucians, Champagne, that got the virus already don't have to be vaccinated. So if you add 5,000 to the people who've been vaccinated, these people are already enjoying an immunity, okay?
I agree.
And it's slowly, because I listen to the world, what is happening today, and I said, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor,
Right.
but I have common sense.
Yeah.
I'm looking at what I see in front of me. It's going to happen today.
Yeah.
And that is what I see is going to happen.
We live with the science.
Yeah.
Your preamble, brother Josie, you have a preamble for us this morning or no?
Well, basically, I started already by saying that as far as I'm concerned, I have one line for the UWP supporters,
Yeah.
specifically UWP supporters, and that is to remember, a tiger does not lose sleep over the opinion of sheep.
Yeah, I like that phrase. So
It's
much.
important to remember that.
You're not going to lose any sleep over
The opinion of sheep.
Even if it's 1,000 sheep, they don't lose not one single minute.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the UWP also should remember that it is better for 1,000 sheep, as you mentioned 1,000, to be led by one lion than for 1,000 lions to be led by a sheep.
That is true, and that's not going to ever happen.
And so the other important question to ask yourselves, UWP supporters and sympathizers, in the last 5 years of Labour Party administration under Dr. Anthony, what did they achieve for St. Lucia, for the people of St. Lucia?
Yeah.
Compare that to these last 5 years under a UWP administration led by Alan Michael Chasney. You cannot make an intelligent decision in the coming elections if you cannot compare the two administrations.
You must.
I know of people, Champagne. I was not born yesterday morning. I've fought for 7 different elections in St. Lucia. I've won 4, lost 3.
Yeah.
But I've been around.
Yes.
And I can tell you there are people who would support their party regardless. I know of people who have been given scholarships. Their children were given scholarships by the Cuban government. And by the way, it was not George Odlum who went to Cuba first. Of all the politicians in St. Lucia in the last 50 years, the one who opened up Cuba was your humble servant, who went to an international conference of trade unionists, met Fidel Castro, etc., etc.
That was back in the 70s.
Yeah, but Odlum was more vocal. He made people believe all kind of things. Let that pass. That was not important, right? But I know people in St. Lucia who have benefited from scholarships given to them by the Labour Party, some by UWP. Okay? These people would never have had an opportunity to have a child or the child herself or himself graduate as a university person and earning good pay in St. Lucia today. So they will be forever grateful to the Labour Party or whoever gave them that scholarship. That is understandable.
Yeah.
Some people were founding members, some people's parents, their grandparents too, were founding members of the Labour Party with George Charles, Olio Jean-Baptiste, Collymore, and people like that. And I can understand these people, no matter what happens, because of their relationship with their grandparents, grandfather, mother, they will be sympathetic to the Labour Party. The Labour Party could kick them, they would still be sympathetic and give Labour Party a vote.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about these people.
Right.
I am talking about people who can think. People who don't need politicians, who can go in their yard, dig the yard, hustle for themselves, get a job, or help themselves.
People who wants to work.
People who want to work and can create work for themselves too.
Yes.
These people don't have to depend on any politician.
But the government now have to lay the foundation, though. They have
for them.
Yes.
Okay? But when they come to making up their minds to vote, you have to ask yourself, who did more for the country? Because if the country is doing well, you will have an opportunity to survive in that country. But when everybody is choopsing, their face long, they don't know where the next meal is coming from, what kind of country is that? And remember, in 2016, that is the reason the Labour Party was voted out of office, because it was going nowhere. People these days talk about VAT. If the Labour Party was in power today, or if we make a mistake and put them there with all of the promises that were made, including anybody getting $4,000 or less per month, they would not have to pay tax. I am telling you, Champagne, that the VAT rate would be 20 to 25%.
Wow. That is
because they have to find the money and to pay civil servants, to pay the debts of the country. Where would they get money from unless it was from the backs of people, working people?
Their own people. Yeah.
You see the point I'm trying to make?
I understand the point.
So these things, you don't have to be bright. You don't have to be a university student. The important thing is you have to have people on the media who understand it and who can explain it.
Yes.
And I keep saying that one of the great advantages the UWP has this time are people like yourself, Norbert,
Dr. Secret, all
As a matter of fact, last week when somebody started attacking Dr. Secret, I tried my best to call him to say, well, listen, I know what you're going through. They did worse. to me. But you are a man that can stand up. And unless you can take your blows, you don't deserve to be anywhere, Champagne.
Yeah,
I've said that.
true.
Before a dog barks, you run away. What kind of leader are you? What kind of person are you?
Exactly.
You understand the point I'm trying to make? And so, Champagne, the next thing I wanted to talk about is Mr. Pierre,
Yes.
the leader of the Labour Party, once mentioned his desire, his dream of having a youth economy.
Yes.
I'm not sure what that means, but I have some questions for the UWP to ask Mr. Pierre and his friends when next they hear him or they see him. Has anybody spoken to the youth about how exactly that youth economy would work? Has anything been done to educate the youth in the discipline of hard work? That nothing comes easy in life. Nothing.
Nothing.
Even when your parents may put a nice soft foundation for you and give you things, if that parent is not careful, you will just fritter everything away because you have not worked hard for
That
it.
is true.
That's right.
I know that for a fact.
That is true.
Has anyone spoken to the youth about the importance of putting aside something like a saving when they are working? If you're going to build a youth economy, who is there explaining to the youth? Are you, Mr. Pierre, the one to do it? Why is it we're not hearing from you? The youth, the youth, the youth. I'm talking about the youth. Most of the time when they mention youth, they talk about sports.
Yeah.
What is happening apart from the secondary school at Grosley Lane?
The academy.
The academy.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is happening? What is the Labour Party going to do to improve on that academy?
Yeah.
Has anybody from the Labour Party commented on the miserable performance of the West Indies cricket team against South Africa in St. Lucia? Didn't the guys know that St. Lucia has one of the hardest and fastest wickets? I don't play cricket. It's years I haven't played cricket, but I've gone the park. I know the park. I know the guy who takes care of the ground. And I have an idea, because this has to do with soil and grass. Right? The pitch.
The setting
the turf
of
wicket.
yeah.
But that is my background. My background is soil and the plants that grow on them, starting from grass.
Right.
So I know how to prepare a fast wicket.
Okay.
You understand? A bouncy wicket.
Yes.
And St. Lucia has it. This guy has studied it. There was a time when we started doing it. I say we as a St. Lucian. Mindu used to get the Barbadian guys coming at Victoria Park. They actually used to put soap water, wet the thing with soap water to give it its final roll in circles.
Okay.
To make the grass stick into the ground with the soap water to make it fast.
Okay.
Because the faster wicket is better for stroke playing. You can bat better, but it also bounces more.
Okay.
But nobody prepared the minds of our West Indian young people for that. How many people have commented on that? Where are we going as a sports nation? We don't understand sports today. Darren Sammy, I'm not his accountant, I don't know his business. Darren Sammy is making more money than all the ministers of government put together in 1 year. All of them, including the Prime Minister.
Yes.
And we don't understand sports. You're talking about a youth economy, and you just live in that, just throwing things and that is what the Labour Party is famous for doing, including the former leader.
And they have never provided any form of facility. That same youth sports you're talking about.
Exactly, and they don't discuss it further. They just throw something
Just throw it out there.
They don't flesh out the suggestion.
And you're so right. Look at that.
But he was there for 25 years.
That's right. But to clarify your point, you talk about a smart city with no details.
But that
a
is
smart city, but no details. Where you go? If you're going to put a bus terminal here, or what you're going to put there, this, but no details.
Champagne, without cut. Both himself and his former boss stated clearly they couldn't borrow money.
Couldn't borrow.
They couldn't run the country, right?
Yeah.
And yet they blistered us with 17.5% VAT,
Yes.
collecting $100 million a year in VAT money.
Yes.
Okay. When I told Dr. Anthony before he went, I'm no economist.
Yeah.
Common sense. I said, Dr. Anthony, that's a mistake. I didn't worry to tell him that he said that it was an oppressive tax.
Oh, yeah.
He said so on his own.
He did say it.
I told him so. I said, you don't reinvent the wheel in life. You don't reinvent the wheel. America, that's a top-class commercial economy.
Yeah.
They put on a sales tax. I said, Prime Minister, put on a 5% sale. You'll collect just as much money, but it will be shared equally.
Yeah.
When you have a champagne starting a business
Yeah.
who has to rent, and you're telling this guy you have to pay 17% tax on your rent, you're killing the guy. That's common sense.
Even before me,
Okay?
I started off.
And as Guy Joseph said last night, if they get into power, the first thing they're going to do is put tax at 20,
Yes.
put back a VAT at 20%,
Yes.
and
Yes.
kill the economy.
That's what they're going to
And
do.
destroy St. Lucia.
Yes.
So Michael,
Yes.
so Michael, you can shout as much as you want. I am telling you, and you have to understand this and believe it. Dr. Anthony does not understand that language.
But he can destroy the country.
Well, he
He
understands
does
that
not
one.
understand, but that's what will happen.
That's the one he
The
understands.
message I'm giving now is trying to sell St.
But
Lucians.
to let St.
Be
Lucia
careful.
exactly.
I understand.
That's why I'm getting
that's
so
emotional.
passionate about the
Yes,
whole
yes,
situation.
yes, yes.
Because Champagne, let me tell you something. You go down, and I have to do that all the time.
Yeah, do.
You work in the south,
Yeah.
okay?
The airport.
You see certain trends in your little way. You can tell when St. Lucia is doing well
Of course.
from the number of people
Of
coming.
course. Of course.
Champagne, I've been in business 60 years. That's not 60 days, you know.
That's a long
That's
time.
60 years.
That's a long
That's
time.
60 multiplied by 365. Do the mathematics.
That is a lot of days.
I have to be a goddamn idiot
Yeah.
not to be able to understand
A little
bit about life, okay?
Exactly.
I'm in the business.
Yeah.
I rent,
Yes.
okay? I don't, at my age, in fact, if I called Timothy yesterday and said, what the hell I'm doing in business, I should be, get out of that thing because I'm too old now, I should keep out of that.
Somebody said that?
Yeah, to Timothy yesterday, okay?
But can you believe
But
that?
that's fine.
Nonsense.
That's fine.
No,
But you know,
but if someone says that, they're not getting at you. That is someone
But,
that is
hello.
an idiot.
We
Yeah. But
we
what
drifting from what I was saying, but
Sure.
so Michael finish and let me finish what I
Yes.
was saying.
Yes.
But I'm telling Sir Michael, I'm sorry to tell you,
Mm.
that Dr. Anthony will not understand your language. His mind is not screwed that way.
No.
I understand you, Peter.
Thank you.
I
But you're
understand
warning
you.
St.
But
Lucians.
I'm warning St. Lucians.
Yes.
What can happen, okay? The man could not borrow money.
Yeah.
He said it himself.
He did.
They told him get his financial house in order, okay?
Yeah. What are the connections in the outside world, Sir Michael? The Labour Party, their connections in
Zero. Let me tell you something. You know what was pathetic? I think it was Norbert who put it on
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah.
Philip here doing an interview with JJ.
Yes, I saw
Just
it.
as crazy.
Yes, I
The
saw
guy just talking nonsense.
And you're talking 5 years
And
ago.
JJ was there laughing at him.
As a matter of fact, I pointed it out to someone who was watching the television with me.
And what I said?
When he said 60% increase, Jadia actually took her finger, her left hand, and drew 60
Yes.
and said 60%.
Yes,
JJ
yes,
doesn't
yes.
tell him that lady.
Yes.
But I said-
She was laughing at the guy.
I said then
Yes.
and there, I said, look at JD laughing, and I
Correct,
said, oh my
yeah.
God, you saw that too?
Yeah, I saw and we were different home. I was at my home, you were at your home.
I'll be honest with you, Champagne.
Yeah.
As much as I don't support Philip Pierre or Kenny Anthony, I support politics.
Right.
I don't have anything against politicians because I always say it takes a certain amount of gumption, certain amount of gonads to put up yourself as a public figure.
Yes, I agree.
So I have a certain amount of admiration for everybody and anybody who has gone up for
I
public
agree.
life, right?
Yes.
But when I saw Jadia laughing, Jadia would not do that to Kenny Anthony, by the way.
Yeah.
But she drew the 60 and was laughing at Pierre. I said, oh God, you think Pierre could allow himself that to happen to him?
I saw that, yeah.
But let me make the last point.
Yes,
On
go
all
ahead.
the questions, I'm going to ask my last question. The $1 million question which we should ask of the Labour Party and Philip Pierre, talking about the youth economy, is this. Who will teach the youth these values that I mentioned earlier? Is it the government of the day? Is it the opposition? Or should that come from the home?
That's
Oh.
important. That is important.
We have to ask ourselves this question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the values have to come originally from your home.
Yeah.
If you don't have it in the home because there's no father, notwithstanding Father's Day or what have you, it has to come from people who know better in the schools,
Yeah.
an opposition, good opposition, or the state. So it has to come, the education of the youth has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Who is educating our youth?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, and very, very, very good questions. Throughout my life in the politics, you've always heard both political parties always stress on the youth. The youth, the youth, the youth is our future. But then you ask yourself, what is happening to the youth? What has been happening? What are they doing for the youth? And I'm not going to lie and say for the first time, in terms of work, this administration is literally doing something for the young people. But when you look at the people, the young people in the South, in the thousands, going to work, I mean, something is going on. When you see the preparation, the facilities in sports that are being built, you have an academy, a sports academy for the first time. This is a step in the right direction. It is not giant, it is not a giant step, but it is a step. And it has only been done by this administration. It has not been done before.
But Champagne, another thing we have discussed before, okay, that the Labour Party does not even want to admit the errors of the past.
No.
They're putting people in a step program to cut grass.
Yes.
The Prime Minister took the same money and invested it in the youth so they could work at
the Ojo Lab, the ITLBBOs.
ITLBBO, okay?
Yeah.
As you said, $4.5 million a month in salaries.
It's a lot of money.
Now imagine that, Champagne. That money being earned by the children of those parents.
Yes.
They can afford to give the parents $20 a day to stay at home without going in the hot sun to cut grass.
To cut grass.
Right?
They could pay them much better than cutting
Precisely.
grass. Okay.
Right? And in addition to that, Champagne, they have a young mind that's educated, going to take them one step further in life.
And they keep learning every day because of the world we in. There's technology.
Precisely.
They keep learning at those centers. And you made a very good point there, because if I'm working at Ojo Labs, I'm earning $3,000, $2,000, and my mom is cutting grass in that hot sun for $20 a day, I'll say, Ma, stay home. I will pay you.
Yeah, $20 a day is $600 a month. Okay? Out of the $3,000 or $2,000, he gives his mother $600 to stay home.
Yeah.
And if the kid has
not even six,
and
five,
if he has a kid,
if
the mother can stay home. And look at that here. Now, by the mother staying home, you're taking care of the child.
Taking
that
care
will
of
not
the
become
home.
wayward.
Exactly. And Monday to Friday would not even amount to 600. It would amount to 400, because you're talking about 5 days.
That's right.
And any child with gratitude would pay to them $400.
But certainly.
You know?
But certainly, Champagne.
Yeah. Anyway, Sanusia, we're going to turn up the phone lines in a little bit. I wanted to go to that stuff with Sir Michael regarding the sanctions that have been lifted on our police department. We have not spoken about it. So
that's huge,
we'll
Champagne.
spend 5 minutes. Yeah. Now, Dr. Anthony could not do it. And I want to go there. Dr. Anthony could not do it. Apparently, that is what my mind is telling me. The relationship between Dr. Anthony's administration and the United States was not a bright one. That is just me speaking. That's my personal opinion. In 5 years, we never got anything from the United States in regards to impacts on the police department. What we witnessed last Thursday, Sir Michael, in your own opinion, how big is that for you? As a St. Lucian, not as the father of the Prime Minister, as a St. Lucian.
Champagne, that's a huge step in the right direction. And both from a financial aspect and also from
a security aspect.
Security,
yes.
And not only security, but what's the word I'm trying to find now? That an admirable decision on behalf. In other words, it raises the status of St. Lucia.
Yes, sir.
Because when somebody tells you you're a crook, okay, I'm going to withdraw your visa, okay? Yes. When you see a government officials, government diplomatic, that is very bad for St. Lucia, Champagne.
It is bad.
It's a disgrace. You have children, Champagne. You are so proud of your daughter. Look what your daughter has done.
Yes.
If your daughter had been somebody on drugs and doing foolishness,
you would not talk about
that would demoralize you.
It would break you.
Okay?
It would break
demoralize.
You.
It's the same thing applies today.
To a country.
As a nation, you have to have people with respectability. People,
character.
People you can mingle with. Guy was saying last. I don't think the Prime Minister is to go away. Champagne, I don't even know who the Prime Minister met with. Guy Joseph was saying last night the amount of congressmen that he met.
Oh yeah,
with the
Monday
Prime
night.
Minister,
That's right.
okay?
That's right. Yeah,
The
they
man is
sat
well
with
recognized.
Congress.
The man can pick up a phone and call the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and say, look at me, Mr. Prime Minister, we have this problem here. I'm not saying the Prime Minister would solve it right, but he gives him a hearing.
Yeah.
You think Richard Frederick or anybody like that would go and call
don't forget
somebody?
these people. Listen to me. Brother Peter, and before we take the phone lines, this Prime Minister that we have, Honorable Alan Michael Chastney, I believe he's very, very well connected. Now, I was talking to someone and they said, Champagne, the Prime Minister is well connected and you have to bring his father into the equation. I say, why? He said, well, I read his father's book and his father said in his book that he took his children everywhere. Everywhere he took them. So what the guy said to me, he said, when his father met important people or people of stature in the outside world, those people had their young children, maybe in the age groups of his own children, that is meaning Alan Shasta and your daughter. And today these people, some of them, Justin Trudeau, the guy in Canada, is a personal friend of our Prime Minister.
That's right.
Our Prime Minister knows a lot of people. The man is well connected. You cannot risk that for Philippine. I'm sorry to say today, you cannot make a difference, a change from Alan Shastney, who's well connected in the outside world, to a Kenny Anthony or Philippine.
They know,
you just cannot do it.
Champagne, they know that. 45 years ago, between 40 and 45 years ago, I was at Eddie Gaston at Monrepo one day in the evening, about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, talking to a group of farmers, maybe about 9, 10 of them. And you know what one of them, in those days I was in the Labour Party. You know what one of them said? He said, you know, Mr. Josie, usa puchi nueme comme Prime Minister? Monsieur se nom ki sa al lang li tête.
That's right.
Ek mande pou bagay. Même si ni pou beg, chercher bagay ban nou.
It is
even
true.
though he has to beg. So in other words, the same point we are making about the present Prime Minister.
Yes.
That is the point this guy was making to me 40 to 45 years ago in person.
The connection.
The connection. So Compton could go, people know him, he could go and ask, he could go and beg on our behalf.
So John,
that is why we like him as Prime Minister.
So John Compton met with the Queen of England. Our Prime Minister met with the Queen. I remember seeing him in a photo, I think 2 years ago or last year. Not last year, the year before.
Some of us are fortunate.
Yes.
I was fortunate in one sense that when I had in my shipping business, I was squeezed by certain people in the Caribbean. I moved abroad. I moved to Puerto Rico, I moved to Florida, I moved to New York, I moved to Canada. My children had an exposure.
Yes.
I met people. They were not afraid of him. When Alan went to school in Canada on his own, he met a guy at his school whose father was an international lawyer and whose mother was the photographer for Pierre Trudeau.
Okay.
And Alan spent years with those people.
That's right.
And
That's why he
became
knows
well
Justin.
connected.
So that's why he knows Justin Trudeau that well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And additionally, when he went to school in Canada, he's a people's person. He met a Jamaican guy there who was teaching politics.
Okay.
And this guy has been so good to Alan over the years, okay, from a young age, that even as Alan left school, they remained the best of friends.
Yeah.
Alan came to St. Lucia. He met George Odlum. I had him meet George Odlum. They got very friendly. All this thing because he was interested in politics, wanted to help his country. Alan lived away, okay? When he came and he saw St. Lucia, St. Lucia could do better than that.
Yeah.
And he's proved it.
He has proved it. And he's going to do much more.
So this is where we go.
He's going to do much more.
You know?
All right, St. Lucia. So we're going to open up our phone lines if you'd like to call into the program.
It's a little hot.
4560931 is our number to call as we already have the phone calls lined up. So beautiful morning to you. It's 11:25. Hello, good morning. Okay, so we lost this one. Someone was trying to get in. 4560931 or 4850931 is our number to call if you'd like to call in to get in into the program. I was talking about the connection, and I want to stay there. All right, we do have another call, so let's take. We have calls coming in now. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning to you. How are you doing?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm good.
Morning, Sir Michael. Morning, Mr. Gucci.
Morning, dear.
Good morning. Good morning.
I want to express something. Champagne,
Yes.
have you ever invited Stephen King to Sky FM?
Well, Mr. King, the invitation has been put out there to all the government ministers, all the candidates, everyone. All they need to do is just call in. I have made appeals to get in touch with some of the ministers, and they have promised that they will be here. But Mr. King, I have not able to have him on Sky FM, no.
I would like you to reach out to Mr. King personally and have him come on Sky FM, because a lot of things have been going. I remember in the 2016 election, there was rumor about Mr. King. At the vote of no confidence, there was rumor about Mr. King. Now there's rumor about Mr. King going independent, and Sean, what's his name, made some statements on the UD station.
Yeah.
He didn't directly say Mr. King, but you can, from what he was saying, and the rumor is all over the place about Mr. King going independent and then switching to Labour and all kinds of things about Mr. King.
Yeah.
Now, I think to myself, it's time for Mr. King to come out and make a statement. It is more than time, because that is why all these rumors are going around. Mr. King needs to come to Sky FM or make a press release or a press conference on something and say what is going on. If he's displeased with the party, come out and say what you're going to do. You cannot be allowing the Labour Party to be spreading all these things and you're just dead dumb, you're not saying anything.
Caller,
You understand? You have a station at your disposal.
I have gotten calls, I have gotten text messages, and persons have asked me the same question that you're asking, Champagne, why you're not inviting Mr. King? And in all honesty, I don't know what response, what answers to give those persons. Like you said, Mr. King is his own person, and we have discussed that here before. We didn't go into too many details. So I think if Mr. King would love to say something about the rumors, he should come out and say it. And that's just me on that. I have
that is my point. And he has Sky FM there at his disposal.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
Mr. King, I find Mr. King is being very shady.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be on my program. He could be with Nancy. He could be with Dr. Secret. We have a whole lot of different announcers here, so he could choose to come on any program.
All the other ministers are coming out. They're showing you what they're doing. They're doing things. They're talking. Mr. King just there, letting everybody just say everything, and he has no response. Nothing. Like, I mean, this is very, very suspicious.
But caller.
Because this is not the first time that I'm hearing Mr. King in cahoots with people in the Labour Party and Mr. King there. Mr. King needs to come out and say what is going on.
Yeah. Let Mr. Josie say something.
Stop holding his constituency at hostage.
Allow Mr. Josie to say something. Give you a response.
This is the time we have to keep our minds and our cool by referring to him as things shady and things so. It's not helpful. The other point is this has happened before. Mr. King can choose whatever time he wants, and we should not play the opposition's game. The moment you start doing that, you are actually helping the case of the people who are opposing this government and opposing Mr. King himself. There's no love lost.
Okay, Mr. Josie.
Okay?
Yes, Mr. Josie, but what I'm saying is that members of the United Workers' Party are starting to get disgruntled, and people in North Castries are starting to worry about what Mr. King is up to.
Yeah, I understand, but you
understand. So people need clarification from Mr. King.
A delegation should go to him from the constituency.
Contributor, can I say something? I'm sure that Mr. King and his supporters are listening to you, and let us hope that based on what you have said today, he'll understand the importance of doing what you said. Okay, dear? So, but as Mr. Josie said, now we're not in the position to divide anybody or to cause. I'm sure he has his reasons. So now, I honestly don't think that Mr. King has any idea at all of leaving the United Workers. That I'm prepared to say very categorically. However, I understand what you said, and there is merit in what you have said, and I hope that Dr. King, Mr. King, who is listening, will make a decision one way or the other.
But you really cannot blame you cannot blame the caller.
Champagne.
Yes, darling.
Champagne.
Yes, darling.
hear me, I know to myself that Mr. King, I shouldn't say I know to myself, but I'm hoping that he will not make that move. But what I'm trying to say is that it's causing
anxiety,
supporters to be,
anxiety.
in doubt about him, So at the end of the day, just one little thing, he come to the station, he talk about what he's doing in his constituency and things, and reassure people. People, we need reassurance, because the talk, this is not the first time we've been hearing about Mr. King going to do this. He was supposed to cross the floor in the vote of no confidence. Why is not any other ministers and always Mr. King?
Caller, my phone for the last week or two has been going, and sometimes I even it gets me a little frustrated when people call me, because people think that I have some answers for them, and it is really starting to trouble me every time, every day. My phone goes about 3 or 4 times. No, listen, I'm not saying, no, let me explain something.
It's not that we think
let me explain.
But it's just that it's troubling us.
Let me explain something to you. I'm not upset about it, because people are expecting me to give them some answers. And I don't blame the callers and the people, because they love their party. And if they hear things about their party, they want to know that their party is okay. And I don't blame you, caller, because I've been getting those calls for the last 2 weeks, and I don't blame you for asking the question. I cannot say anything on it, but all I could tell you is people are asking, people are worried, people are concerned.
Champagne, do me something, and personally, I want you to reach out to Mr. King, give Mr. King a call, and invite Mr. King to the show.
All right, caller, I'll try my best to do that.
Just do that for me, please.
All right, okay, caller, thank you very much.
Because we need to debunk all the nonsense the Labour Party is saying.
Yes, I'll try to do that.
Thank you, caller.
Okay.
All right, caller.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thanks a lot. All right, beautiful.
Have a good day, caller.
A beautiful morning to you. Hello.
Yeah, something
Good morning.
Good morning, and Mr. Sasney and Brother Josie, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank
Morning,
you.
my brother.
Yeah, I just want to put a little input into this whole thing between the Americas and when I say the Americas, I mean the authorities of America and the Labour Party. You see, the thing is, what the Labour Party cannot understand is that America believes in justice and clean leadership. That's what the Labour Party can't understand, because from the time that Alan took over, way back when Alan took over the United Workers' Party, he cleaned the United Workers' Party, so to speak, because Richard Frederick was a member of the United Workers' Party, and when he was asked about the reason why his diplomatic passport was revoked, he didn't give a clear explanation as to. And then my great leader gave a clear stand of leadership by removing him or asking him to step aside, because you cannot be part of a party that I lead and then you cannot give a clear reason as to why your visa was revoked. Then you cannot be a member of my party. Now we must understand one thing. We talk in St. Lucia, and we say a whole heap of things, and we only forget that we are only a little dot in the ocean. We are a small third world island. So America now, their eyes is up on us. Not even when we don't believe. It's like God. When we don't believe, God is working on our behalf. So when we don't even aware, America is watching. So from day one, when Richard Frederick was removed from the party to America, that was a first clean step. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's also very true, caller.
Yeah, because if the reason I'm saying that is, if America can revoke both visas of Richard Frederick, and a leader of a nation can remove that same man from authority, it means that leader is standing clean.
Very well said.
Very well said, yes.
Because what I am saying is, America did not just remove the visa of Richard Frederick for no reason.
Correct.
But the one thing you must ask, caller, that leader is not only standing clean, but he's standing clean in the eyes of the American government. That's the
This is exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
He is standing clean in the international world.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now that whole impact thing did not come just like that. It came from there, because I'm telling you something about the American people. Before the American people can tell you, look, they will watch you from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet first.
They'll study you.
And make sure that they are pleased with your leadership. Now, America will bend to you as a small nation once they are pleased with your way of operation.
Well said.
You know what I'm saying?
Well said.
So,
Well
I
said.
want to congratulate our foreign minister, which is
It's Bobre.
Miss Bobre, Sarah Flood,
Sarah Flood.
because a lot of people are saying that she did not perform, but performance is not only in your constituency.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. That's right. Especially the portfolio she was given.
Yes, the portfolio she was given, it takes her away from her constituency.
A lot of the times.
Let me
A
tell you.
lot of the time. Now, all of these things with the Americans and the lay law and the lifting of part of it is the work of the Prime Minister and Sarah Flood.
Yes.
You understand?
Sarah Flood is a well-respected person with years of experience. Okay, they know the number they're dealing with. That lady has nothing against her. Okay, no black
that's what I'm
marks.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
So when America stand up and America watch at what is going on, you know, America is pleased. So America will always give us
The
the
assistance.
benefit of the doubt, because
Yes.
we are proven to them that we are complying with their requirements when it comes to clean leadership,
Very well put, caller.
no corruption.
Yeah.
Because I can remember that the St. Lucia was placed on the grey list or blacklist, whatever it was.
Yeah, the
and every
blacklist.
time that I listen to the news, I can hear that St. Lucia is being removed to a lighter color
That's right.
instead of a darker color.
That's right.
These things, when I hear these things, as a follower of my country,
Yes.
I'm not just a member of the United Workers' Party. I also follow the leadership of my country.
That's right.
I follow the happening in the country, because you need to know what's going on. So when I hear that St. Lucia was on those colored lists, and I'm hearing that St. Lucia is being relieved from these colors to a lighter color, I am seeing that the person that I'm supporting is not disappointing me internationally.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well
Yes.
said.
Well said, Colin.
Well said.
Yeah, because
contribution.
I am from a third world country who need the first world.
Without a
It
doubt.
it doesn't matter what form of technology we believe we have.
Without
it doesn't
a doubt.
matter what we see on the TV. We are a third world country.
We are surviving on the basis of the third world countries. Without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Right. So we have to know that it's not because that we are small and we're from the Caribbean that we cannot have the rule of we cannot stand according to the international rule. Of course we can. Once you have good leadership, the same laws and things that is happening in the UK and the United States can happen in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Integrity is not measured by size. Huh?
Yes, the same,
well
yes.
said.
So the same enjoyment that the
Well said.
Americas is enjoying, we can enjoy it right here.
Well
And
said.
once we have the quality of leadership that matches countries like Canada, the UK, and the United States, it is very easy to go and sit in the chambers of these guys and ask them what you want and get it.
And they will listen to you.
They will listen
They will
to
listen.
you.
And that is exactly what was done in regards to the ambassador being here last Thursday. And for
Yeah.
those people that are thinking that that decision was taken by the ambassador, that was not who made the
No.
decision.
No.
That
No.
was taken from the State Department. The ambassador is the messenger.
Yeah, now when you look at what is going on within the chambers of the Labour Party, it is a shame to these guys. When you tell me somebody from the ranks of the Labour Party can open their mouth and say that the U.S. lift these parts of the force, meaning the Marine and the defense and the other
Immigration, yeah.
immigration, because that they have an interest.
Can you believe that?
This is ridiculous.
An interest in our elections.
How?
That's what they
Let me
say.
tell you something. Yeah? Let me tell you something. So you're telling me, let us put it in our local St. Lucian words, so the hearers can learn, right? If I am living lower down your home and in a little hill and you are above me, and the water from your roof is affecting me because I'm below you, right?
Yeah.
The water from your roof is affecting me in the bottom. So you are saying that if I come up to your house and ask you to put guttering for you, new guttering all around your house for you, you are saying that this is no benefit to you. It's only benefit to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm below you.
Exactly. Yeah.
My goodness, that makes your house nice also.
All the time. Yes, sir.
Yes.
You're right on that, Colin.
And not only that, you as the house owner save money because you don't have to spend money on guttering. I
That's
put it
right.
for you already.
Someone already paid for it.
Yes, it's the same thing. The thousands of dollars that the Americans going to spend on the immigration and on the Marine police will be saved by my tax money will be
Yes.
saved to do something else in the country.
Yes.
Yeah, caller.
Well said, caller.
The instant that you just drew there between the house that is getting water, you getting water from their roof, and thinking that they are doing you a favor if you ask them to put the thing, right? However you put it, it makes you wonder how these people think if you are coming to ask to do something that would benefit you.
Yeah.
You
But they're not seeing their profit in it.
Exactly. But,
Yeah.
but you see the kind of thinking, boy, that thing has occupied my mind sometimes, you know. Sometimes you do a person a favor.
Brother Josie.
I'll give you another minute, caller. We have some more calls.
Yes, my brother, go ahead.
Brother Josie, let me tell you what that said to me as a voter.
Yeah.
And not only me alone, all our local people with education that can understand the voters, like the swing voters. I'm not a swing voter.
Right.
I'm a die-hard UWP.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the swing voters
Yeah.
is that the Labour Party has no interest in bringing St. Lucia forward.
Yes, sir. You could say
Because
that.
anything that have to do with the betterment of St. Lucia, even from the international world, they are opposing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they are saying there, indirectly, they are opposing the release of impacts.
Yeah.
That's what they are doing.
Yeah.
They think we're
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Caller, is more than not having an interest, and that's my humble opinion, which I'm sharing with you. It's an inability to do it. I am
Right.
convinced that even when the Labour Party might have a nice manifesto on what they want to do, they are not able to do it. The same thing I
Let me
was
tell-
telling Sir Michael earlier. They
Yeah.
cannot understand the language of development.
Before my minute finish, let me be clear on what burning these guys. What is burning these guys is that the Honorable Prime Minister, the best Prime Minister, is doing all of these things in what? His first term.
1, 2.
Right, yeah.
1, 2.
This
caller.
is the burning fire on their
Yeah,
back.
it's hard for them to swallow.
First term.
That's why they think it's two prime ministers we have, is not
Yeah.
one.
It's difficult for them to swallow, caller. It's very difficult for them to swallow.
But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Do you know that if you have a government in power that have 11 members and all 11 members are performing as the prime minister, that's power?
Yeah.
That's greatness.
Yeah, of course.
And we are loving it. So whatever they are saying, I am saying to them at the end of my contribution, we are loving our government.
Amen. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very
Colin.
much. Great contribution. Let me ask you, Sir Michael, the agility that our Prime Minister has, you think he obtained that from you when you were really moving? Because this guy never stops. He is agile. You think he got that from you? I'm not saying now.
Yeah, but the thing is this, Champion,
Yeah.
you live in a house with people.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister saw how hard I worked.
That's right.
And how focused I was.
Yes.
And he realized one thing there, that the only way to succeed is that way.
To have that, yes.
A lazy man does not succeed.
And I want to come back to that lazy man. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to your two guests.
Morning.
All right. Champagne, I would like to thank the Prime Minister greatly for a job well done. I must say that,
You want to speak up just a little bit, caller? We could barely hear you.
Yes, I want to say that a big thank you to the Honorable Prime Minister.
Yeah.
For a job well done. What I noticed that everybody in the police force should be very happy now.
Yeah. I agree.
Right now they can go out there and executing their duties.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm very happy. And then I want to say kudos to the Prime Minister. And I don't know how to describe this Prime Minister, Champagne. And then,
He's just an awesome guy. Great guy.
That is why he deserves a second chance.
Second
term.
2, 3, 4, 5. If God gives him the strength.
Yes, but yes.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that, Champagne, you guys doing a very good job, especially now. But this morning, then and if it wasn't for that radio station, Champagne,
Yeah.
I like to repeat myself. If it wasn't for you, because remember once we sat down and we talked about that.
Yes, we did.
And I said that for you. You are doing a pretty good job, and I just wanted to tell you, don't get swell-headed. Continue.
I'll never get swell-headed.
Whatever that you are doing.
I could use a check from you, but I'll never get swell-headed.
No, you will get something. and there's a saying that good things come to
those who wait.
Not those who wait for too long. But you will get something too.
Okay, my brother. Thanks a lot.
Anyway, gentlemen, you guys are doing a pretty good job, and listening to all. You all have listeners all over the
indeed.
over the place. You got now all
over the world. Yeah, we do. Thank you very much.
Champagne, you said a while ago that Sir Michael is not as agile as he used to be.
Well,
but he doesn't have to be. Let me just tell you.
Yeah.
His mind is as agile as it was
he moves.
100 years ago.
I agree with that.
And that is what's important.
I agree with that.
Once I went to Sir Michael's office before all this politics a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I never told him that. I'll say it in public today because you see, I don't have secrets, you know.
Exactly.
Especially secrets that are not important to be kept. So Michael had a desk at his office, and he had his little nameplate, and on it was chairman of the board.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Not B-O-A-R-D, but B-O-R-E-D.
Okay.
And I said, but this is a guy with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And immediately I took a liking for him.
Okay.
I've never told him that.
Okay, that's a while back.
And I'm not saying that because I want anything from him now.
I know.
That's a very long time ago. You remember that, Sir Michael?
Thanks for holding, caller. Good morning.
Office of the board.
Hello?
B-O-R-E-D.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Champion.
Good morning.
To the greatest statesman.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Bermuda. How is Bermuda this morning?
Good morning to Conway and Barnard Hill. Not forgetting Dr. Sharon Belber George.
Never forgets Conway and Barnard Hill,
That's
right?
where he's originally from, yeah.
Mr. Georgie.
Yes, sir.
You were encouraging those guys to doctor the wicket, fill in the wicket, and put the soap on it.
No, I'm telling you, that's how I saw them preparing it when these Barbadians had come down.
That's how the doctor wicket depends, especially collected sports in Barbados, and we do that. It depends who's going to bat the first day, who hasn't.
Well, don't forget, I was a young cricketer at the time, and it was said that it was making the wicket fast, you know.
Like concrete, but like concrete.
Concrete, yeah. And you see, I always considered myself a stroke maker. I always liked Kanai, Rohan Kanai, because of that. I was a Kanai fan, so I love fast, hard wickets. Okay.
The ball coming up to the back.
That's correct.
Anyhow, so Michael.
Sir.
You mentioned you brought up a topic earlier in your speech about financial like reinsurance and stuff. I can tell you for a fact, reinsurance, because international business has took over tourism in Bermuda for years now. I'll tell you something.
You mean financial services?
Yes, financial service took over, gone past tourism like a rocket. Left tourism by like a bus stop, standing like a bus stop. And like I said, because there are CEOs in Bermuda that are renting houses. Listen to me carefully. Renting houses and paying $30,000, $35,000 US dollars a month.
Wow.
That's right.
A month. And they're going to do nothing.
That's what people in St. Lucia don't know, Mr. Bermuda. They don't know the importance of financial services. And the same thing is happening in Cabot today. They're against the people who are bringing first-class people to St. Lucia who will raise the standard.
Yeah.
And you have a group of people, the National Trust, who should know better, yeah, and target. But fortunately, the people are standing firm. They're not realizing the importance of raising the standard. That's what the Prime Minister is telling them. We want a new St. Lucia.
That's
we
right.
cannot remain in the doldrums all our life,
Yeah.
having our people go and cut grass when you can train their children to work at call centers.
Yeah.
That's a step in the right direction, caller.
But you know, caller, let me just add something quickly to what Sir Michael is saying. The psychology of the Labour Party, and I used to be a member of the Labour Party, is to tell the followers, especially those they call the Malay, that in that new St. Lucia, because you haven't been to college, university, you can't speak English properly, you will not have a place.
Yes.
You will be nothing.
Yes.
That is the message the Labour Party is sending to some people in St. Lucia.
Which is sad.
So we don't want anything new. We don't want
Yeah.
any highfalutin thing.
No.
Because we will not be able to go there.
Yeah.
The same thing, when they saw the project at Viewfort, the thing Theo Akin had.
Yes, the racetrack.
Yeah, not the racetrack, all the racetrack and the beachfront.
Yes. The
They
whole-
made the
whole of
people at
Caribbean.
Viewfort and the South believe,
Yes.
boy, ça pas place moi.
You can point plus you.
Yeah, I don't have any place there.
Yeah.
You can't do it to Lupi Zakaya.
Yeah. How would I be able to go there?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's really crazy. It's a bad thinking.
Reinsurance brings in billions and trillions of dollars a year in Bermuda. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Reinsurance alone does that. Brings in billions and trillions of dollars. You wait, tell you? Now, the great man, who I say is the greatest leader on the planet, Sir Alan Michael Shaste, let me tell you something. We are damn lucky to have him as a son of the soil. We are damn lucky to have him as our leader.
I agree.
We are damn lucky. Man, this man, he's the best on the planet. Simply the best. And I've been saying all the time, this man leads and the rest follows. And that includes, I've been arrogant, no. Nobody said I've been arrogant. That includes the first world countries. Now, they're calling that guy, that gentleman, Mr. C.R.O. King, world famous, renowned engineer architect. Do St. Lucians know who they're talking about? Do St. Lucians know who's this man? This man made Singapore. This man made Dubai. This man built Island View Accent. What do you want him to do it for you?
We should be proud to have Tua King in St. Lucia.
Champagne.
Proud and happy.
Champagne. That man is not easy. This man is one of the best on the planet.
I have done my researches on Mr. Tua King, and what I read is unbelievable.
Why so? Listen, and he working with a great prime minister.
What I read is unbelievable, remarkable
You think that
stuff.
man easy?
Yeah,
Ask
great
him for
stuff.
everything. He'll do it for you. Let me tell you something. Have you ever heard of anybody skiing in the desert? Anybody skiing in the desert?
Indoor skiing, I saw it, I see it, I see everything.
Thank you very much.
I research
Indoor
everything.
skiing in the desert.
Yeah.
Okay? I could go on and on and on and on and on. St. Lucia, this is the most important election in our history.
Yes.
Because if you're moved by great prime minister from there, if you're ever moved by great prime minister from there, crap was spoke your pipe.
That's not happening. That's not going to happen.
I
All right.
now.
Thank you, buddy.
Coming back, Champagne, the U.S. I heard so Peter Josie talking about the U.S. They know everything about everybody.
Of everywhere.
The SLP is in the bad books of the U.S. Let me tell you something, man. You think that terrorist act by that guy, what's his name, Joachim Henry, went unseen? They know about that. Do you think that treason that went there in in Dominica by Venezuela.
Yeah.
And see, they got him down too. He's short. He's in the black book too. They know what kind of guy he's dealing with.
They know. They have them in the black book. They know. They know.
Kenny Anthony disrespecting the U.S. When President Biden, when he was Vice President Biden today, had a meeting in Trinidad, and he decided, okay, I don't want to see that man. That man, the problem this year.
Yeah.
He sent his deputy, and he got to see Maduro.
Yes. He went to Cuba and then flew across to Venezuela. I remember that very well.
He sent Philippia to...
No, he sent Philippia to Trinidad, but he attended something in Cuba and then went to Venezuela.
That's right.
Yeah.
Maduro tried to borrow $500 billion from the IMF.
I give you another minute, caller.
He tried to borrow $500 billion from the IMF. Canada gave him some pressure just after that.
Yeah.
Or just before. I know the IMF tell him, nope.
Yeah.
No way. He ain't got nothing for you.
All right. Thank you, my friend.
St. Lucia's in SLP get there. St. Lucia's in the same book as Maduro.
Yeah, we finished. We finished.
Youngsters of St. Lucia, we are lucky to have a man like Sophia George and Michael Shasta.
Yeah.
Giving us advice. Let's take it and run with it.
Amen.
Let's take it and run with it, man.
Thank you. All right, my brother. Thanks a lot. All right, beautiful.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much.
Thanks for holding, caller. Thank you for holding. Good morning. Good morning. Yes. Good morning. Good morning.
Thanks for taking this off. Good morning, Champagne. Good morning, Sir Michael. Good morning, Mr. Josie.
Good morning.
Mr. Josie, I'm calling mainly to try to clear up something for you in terms of the body thing.
Oh yeah, I'll be happy to have that cleared. Please, thank you.
Yeah, when Richard lost his visa, Norbert jokingly told him that he has a buddy pass. I think this is something you could lend a friend, get a friend to go on a flight with you. So he told Richard he has a buddy pass. Anytime he's ready, he can get it. He has a buddy pass there, but he has to get his visa. So he's just telling him.
So Norbert was Papi showing Richard.
Right, so that's more of the Papi show buddy as opposed to the real buddy.
I was wondering where the buddy came from. Because I thought the buddy, was a compliment. Because
no, it's not the genuine buddy. It's the buddy pass buddy.
Well, you know something? For my own education, I think I'll call it buddy pass. That will
buddy pass. Buddy pass. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Let's call it a buddy pass, and we understand everything. Buddy pass.
Right.
Thank you very much. I didn't know that. Thank you very much.
Is that it, caller?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful.
You called to clear that.
All right, so we lost this one. We want to go somewhere. We have 12 o'clock. One minute. I know when the clock strikes. So how many calls should we take again, Mr. Peter?
You can take 3 more.
3 more. All right, beautiful. A beautiful afternoon to you. Hello.
Yeah, Champagne.
Yes, sir.
What's up, my brother?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Champagne.
I have my guest with me here as well.
Yes, the Michael and brother Peter, man.
Yes, good morning. Good
my
morning.
brother. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You know, you said some incorrect things there.
What we did?
You said that Alan Shasta, our PM.
Yeah.
He did all these things in one term.
Yes.
But you're all incorrect, man. This guy did that thing in half a term.
That is true.
Only to be other half.
Under the circumstances, of course.
That's very true. That's
You're right. Yeah. You're right, caller. Thank you for the correction.
And let me tell you something, man. And that's a remarkable achievement, man.
That is very true.
To achieve all that in half a term.
Can you believe it?
We keep forgetting COVID. Actually,
so you could just imagine if COVID hadn't come by.
Mm-hmm.
How this country would have been so more
advanced. My goodness, would be flying. Maybe my tunnel under the Badly would have been started already.
You know?
Yes, you're so right, caller. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, and that because you know why you keep forgetting? Because we didn't blame COVID for anything. We continued working right for COVID.
That's another good point. That's another good point.
Right for COVID. We never blamed COVID. We never said COVID hampered us. We continued working, continued pushing forward despite the distractors.
Because that is what a real man does, by the way, right. and a real woman too.
Staying strong.
A real
you
woman.
Never blame your tools.
Yeah, strong woman and a strong man. They never blame the tools.
One thing I want to bring to the fore also. Remember Richard Frederick, I don't know which one of you heard it. Richard Frederick said on one of his programs that whoever wins this general election will be in the driver's seat for a very long time.
I remember that, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
He said that with regards to the amount of work this government has done. That the next administration, which will be United Workers' Party as anything else,
exactly,
will be sitting pretty for some terms to come.
Yes, sir.
He did say to this program. He said that alongside the fact that Labour Party cannot pick a winning candidate.
So the man is smart after all.
Yeah, the man did say that. I don't know if anyone heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it.
So Michael heard him say.
Yeah, he did say. So that there is testimony from his own enemy, from Alan's worst enemy, that the man is working, the man has worked. So
yes.
What other testimony? If you could get that kind of testimony from the worst enemy, and I just wish we would lay a finger on that exact part of his issue.
Yes, yes.
And play it for the solution public to hear.
I will try to find it, caller.
Try and find it, my brother.
I will try to find it. I don't watch the program, but I'll try to find it.
What I want you to do for me is to highlight all the good work the United Workers' Party
has we're doing that
over the years, and has been opposed by the Solution Labour Party.
Yes.
And these projects have brought us prosperity. For example, Rodney Bay. Yes.
Oh boy, if we have to go back there, caller, it will take us all week.
The Millennium Tunnel.
Yeah.
And others which are more recent. But I'm just going back. But
all right.
If we could highlight all these and bring it to the fore.
Last week I did that, caller. I had I prepared a PowerPoint, which I will give to Dr. Secret.
Yeah.
And although I didn't do all, there were 31 projects.
Yes, yes.
But we
will try to highlight
this
them.
afternoon. Thank you, caller.
All right, my friend. Thanks a lot, buddy. All right, beautiful. So we're taking our final call. Hello, good afternoon. You are our final caller.
Good afternoon to each and every one.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Jumping.
Yes, sir.
Last night, there was something in place. Buddy was there with his co-host, whatever it is, promoting him.
Body pass.
Yeah, body pass. And body pass ain't see nothing to talk about. Talking about DFA. How, the fella sending horses, on aircraft, air condition.
That's the conversation?
That is conversation,
My goodness.
As though, they give free land. What happened to Buddy? I think Buddy loses. I think he knows there's not an in for him. Because the Labour Party don't want him. Nowhere don't want him.
But caller, you all put in horses on airplane air condition and you all leaving out body pass. So you expect the man to be happy? What's the matter with you?
Peter, but to make it worse, the point is, them horses so important. Them horses DSS right now and go to America. In air condition. And that is what are killing Buddy,
But precisely.
That is border aircraft right now with air condition.
Precisely.
United States. So that's killing him. Why are you taking on horses? Don't give them Lucia. Those horses been taken care of.
The guys,
the people are getting paid for that.
They need to regurgitate caller all the time because they have to bring things that they have spoken about. They have to bring it back. Look at that letter we got in Guy Joseph, and Guy Joseph read it. I read it here. That is something that was out there from 2018, so they brought it back again. So they have nothing new. They have to bring things, old things, keep bringing back old things to see if it could stick. But this radio station, and thank God the callers know that, and our program here every Wednesday, we are debunking this nonsense every time they try to come up with it. Every single time.
And we have no choice but to do it.
Exactly.
Because, we can't let them get rid of this nonsense.
No.
Yeah.
Harry, the reason why they are paying 93.1 because they could go on all radio stations, bring all their journalists to lie for them.
Yeah.
And they know they're lying, they're trying to fool people, but 93.1 have all the facts.
That's right.
That is exactly what is happening, and that is killing it. And those things will stop because they have a God ahead and he sees all things
All right, caller. My guests are itching to leave because once it's past 12 o'clock, boy, they have to leave. All right, so thanks a lot, caller. Thanks a lot.
I gave them all the updates on the terminal. They forgot to show it. I tell it my crew.
Okay, so but Mr. Peter, you want to say anything before you leave? I know you have to leave. So any last words? Just a few words.
I just wanted to say, as usual, I enjoyed myself this morning. I'm very happy.
Yes.
I asked the questions that I hope someone else will take on behalf of the youth of the country.
Yes.
We always had the youth is the future, the youth is the future. I don't know why to say all of this.
Yes, yes.
But we need to educate the youth, not only academically.
Yes.
But, you know, give them the examples to follow.
Yes, sir.
And they have to find work, but they must also learn to save, pace themselves. Yeah. Don't rush life, you know, because, I mean, if you're a man and you like young women, the more money you accumulate, the longer you live, the more you'll get.
Before you leave,
with the women.
Yeah, before you leave, let me just ask something. You think with the introduction of the STEP program and our young people cutting grass by the road and doing minimal day jobs, you think that has caused our people to get a little lazy, our young people? Or dependency so highly on the Labour Party it has caused them to restrain themselves from actually getting work?
I don't think so. I think what happened is that a lot of intelligent young people saw STEP as an insult. And without saying anything, they don't want to hurt their parents' feelings, they don't want to hurt the feelings of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
But they know they will not put their hands in that.
Yeah.
And they would prefer a program that would educate them to work at an Ojo lab. Or I tell
BPO, yes.
I tell BPO.
Yeah.
There's no young person, Champagne. I don't care how low they come from, how humble. They can be a one-bedroom thing that, you know, is not rainproof. They will want something better.
I agree with that.
Than what their parents are. Trust me.
Oh yes, that's
everybody is that way. Every young person, and if you present them with something where they can build their future by learning a skill and things I mean, there's nothing better you can do for the youth than to teach them a skill where they can then exchange for money.
Cutting grass is not the way out.
Cutting grass is not really a skill. I'm sorry.
And I'll tell you something. And my party has a cleaning program, and which is okay, but I would prefer to see one day all of the 17 constituencies employs people permanently to do that job.
And by the way, you know what
I would love to see that.
You know what I discovered, Champion? That the people who cut grass now with cutlass, they don't want to do that anymore. You know?
No, they don't.
Unless you can give them a weed eater. They're not cutting grass with cutlass
it
anymore.
makes it look too
it's too pedestrian, it's too low, it's too much like the slavery they want to forget.
Thank you. So
they have to have a weed eater.
I'm going back to what I said. I would prefer to see my government, this government, in the next term, or they could start it right now, employ 10, 15, 20 people in every constituency and have them given permanent jobs where they could have an ID card, they could go to the bank and earn a salary for cutting grass.
Not only cutting
it
grass,
permanently.
Not only cutting grass,
taking care of the roadside.
Keeping the place clean.
Amen to that.
Because, you know, as a child, I learned that cleanliness is next to godliness.
That's right.
Some people have never heard that phrase before.
Yeah.
When a place is clean, it elevates your feeling about your own self when you live in a place that is clean. I don't understand why some people don't get it.
And let our people be given uniforms. Let them be identified on the roadside. I see it in the States, you see it in the States, you see it in Puerto Rico. The people that take care of the roadside, they have their uniforms on.
And yet,
they
are
already
people
identified.
who are not conscious, they come into a clean environment. You see the lawn is clean, the grass is neat.
While we're talking, tell them.
Producers, can you put up our photos, the photographs of the airports and everything else, please? Thank you.
Sometimes you see everything clean.
Yeah.
But one litterbug who is not conscious will come and
mess everything up.
Yeah. The other one will pass.
Peter,
okay. Thank you.
Just before we leave, Senator, just let me give a little synopsis of what is going on. I was down there yesterday, and this job is moving ahead far quicker than I anticipated. And although Champagne said the Prime Minister told him 2023, we better be careful that by 2022, end of 2022,
really?
we don't see a real big shadow down there.
Wow.
The piling is going at a rate. Look at what's going on. That was taken this morning, Champagne.
Okay.
Yeah, that was taken this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, 3,000 piles.
Going rapid.
Going ahead at full blast. Yeah.
Look at that overhead shot.
And there's an area there with a huge foundation of one part of it is
So keep that for a little while, producer. So Michael, you said this is the airstrip, the long one there. This is the main runway, right?
Right.
This is the existing terminal, the one with the green roof there.
Yeah.
But what is happening there? Look at where the aircraft could come in now into the new terminal. There's also something laid out there already from the Americans.
That's going to remain
yes.
for the cruise ship people. And,
okay.
Yeah, because the former government had planned to demolish. He had it.
Okay.
He didn't break it down. Yeah, and he kept it. And if he had broken it down, how was he going to deal with the incoming passengers? What would he have had?
These people, so Michael.
Yeah.
They
so
like
that is the term. Yeah. So you see where the flights will come in on that other gate there.
Yes.
And then you had the what's it called? Runway C, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next photo. There's a one where they have a big foundation.
Next photo, producers, please. Is that the one you want?
No,
Can we get the other one,
another
please?
one there where they were laying down all the steel for a major building. Another one.
That's it?
No.
There's another one.
There's another one there.
No.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, so what is happening here?
Yeah, another one again.
A lot of work going on down there
another
tonight.
one, yeah.
Next one.
That is the pile driver. That is the crane for the pile driver.
There we go. Yeah, that one. Right. Yeah. This is a huge part of the
so that is the foundation then already going up.
That's a building. Yeah.
Wow.
That's going up there. So 3,500 tons of steel will be used in steel alone, plus another 3,000 tons in piling. 6,000 tons.
Yeah, that is huge.
And you have now down there over 350 workers there, Champagne.
350?
Right, yeah. And in the next couple of months, once the piling is finished, they're going to go to 600.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the one I was looking at, right.
Yeah.
You can see there.
Now your friend Dr. Anthony went down, someone, I don't know if it is him, someone went into the St. Jude's building when it was raining, and there's a certain portion of the building that has not been covered.
That was so silly. I'm surprised at Dr. Anthony.
My goodness.
Because what really happened there, I actually checked up it, and Bryson Company had a contract to do the, what you call, the flashings right around the building.
Yes.
And he was working it, and was not going to put it in piecemeal. He was going to do the whole building one time.
Yes.
And plus the fact, yeah, very good. And what they were doing too, they had about 300 gallons of sealer. The whole roof is concrete, and that has to be sealed.
Right.
The building is not finished.
So one little area had a little speck, a little hole, and water came through, and they put it for the other video.
Well, they have nothing more to do. A lot of foolishness and nonsense, Yeah. So surprised then, of course, you had your friend Buddy, had somebody go and take a picture and flashing it all about.
And these are the people that want to put St. Lucia first, right?
Yeah,
these are and criticizing the good things.
Unbelievable.
Anyway,
well, Mr.
any last
Champagne,
words, Sir Michael?
Nice being with you, sir.
I wanted to talk about Ching Ching, but we'll leave that for next Wednesday.
Which one? About it?
About Ching Ching. When the Prime Minister spoke about Ching Ching, people didn't understand that.
But you did a good job, but you explained a lot of reasons why.
Because of the Ching Ching. Next Wednesday, God willing, we'll go down that road.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Nice being with you all. Thanks for your contribution. And slowly we're getting there. And elections around the corner, and then big changes will come.
Any predictions before you leave for election? You have any predictions in terms of the date?
The date, yeah.
Or month? You have anything now? Because you said October the last time.
I don't want to say anything now. All I can say is very, very close.
Okay.
My hope is we can continue this station for a little while after the election.
Oh, of course, a little while, all through. I'm here. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you. In St. Lucia, that was the Honorable Peter Josie and the Honorable Alan Chastney. I'll bring it to you. And the Honorable Alan Chastney on another Wednesday morning. Hello, welcome to the program Champagne in the Morning with yours truly, your favorite guy, Champagne. Join me here every morning from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. We're also live on GBD channel 115 and live stream on the internet. Join me as we discuss all of the current events of our beautiful country and around the world. You too could get into the program by calling in 456-0931 or 485-0931. Thank you for tuning in. Join me 8 a.m. to 12 noon.
Letter to the State Department in New York, complaining to the government there that they should relieve the ambassador of her job because she interfered.
I think I heard that. Yes. Yeah.
And that came like a surprise to Mr. Botai this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So he said he's going to investigate that.
Now these people, and this is a ledger, and Mr. Botai also said that he didn't know anything. But listen to this. If the SLP would go down that road, they are going down the most dangerous path in their history. In their history. You don't mess with the Americans. And the Americans will not get involved with the politics of St. Lucia. They may have their preference. Of course, everybody does. And if I was the chairman or whoever is in charge of the State Department, you know what I would have done? I would have not given my preferences to the SLP. I'll tell you why. An invitation was extended to all Caribbean prime ministers back during the time of, I think it was 2011 or 12 or somewhere in that era. And the prime minister, our prime minister, sent his deputy when he was able to go, but he chose to go to Cuba and then to Venezuela. And at that time, it was Joe Biden who was the vice president. Who is the president today? The same Joe Biden, of course. You expect this man, you think these people forget things?
I tell you.
You think these people forget? You think Joe Biden has forgotten 2012 to now is 8 years or 9 years. You think Joe Biden has forgotten the disrespect by Dr. Anthony not showing up in Trinidad, sending his deputy, a guy that could barely say anything convincingly anyway, sending this guy over there, and now he is the president, would want to deal with the same Kenny Anthony government? That is not going to happen. So if I was the State Department or the president, I would have my preference towards the United Workers' Party.
Because Mr. Nombot read a letter this morning where Philip G. Pierre wrote to the British government asking them to relieve
Guy Mears
of his position.
That's right. So don't be surprised, Cole. I'm not saying I don't know about this. It's alleged, but Brother Norbert will dig into it and he will find the information.
He said he's going to investigate.
But don't be surprised with these guys. These guys will stop at nothing. These people will destroy St. Lucia just for their own power, their own benefit. They will burn down this entire country so they could be in power. They will do anything. And the only way out for us is for us not to vote. Listen to me. Not one single seat. If you maintain the seat from Labrie, you say, okay, St. Lucia needs opposition, so let me leave Beaufort South and Beaufort North in power. You have the same problem with the Labour Party. Because you have the same poison in the House of Parliament. The same poison. Anyway, let's find out what Brother Norbert finds on that, okay? He's a great researcher. Thank you, caller. Have a good one. All right, beautiful. All right, St. Lucia Champagne sitting in, as always. I'm doing a little overtime. We're going up until 1 o'clock. So you could call me. We can have a little conversation. And we could talk about so many different things that has happened. But all I really am not interested about the Labour Party. We have spoken so much about the Labour Party throughout the last 2-3 years. And all we have spoken about is everything negative. Could you imagine there's nothing positive to say? Can you, look, wait a minute. Take a little time out and think of what the Labour Party, the statement they have made, a positive statement, just one, and you call me here, 4560931 or 4850931, and say to me, Champagne, okay, you missed out something. The Labour Party made this positive statement. Give me a call on that. Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, what's up, man?
And I'm good, my friend. How are you?
I'm good.
Turn down the radio just a little bit, my friend.
Yeah. I always do.
Hey, my brother, I didn't recognize the voice, my buddy.
Oh.
Everything's good?
Everything blessed for now, eh?
Yes, I.
I have to talk to you, but I think I'll have to call you back. I'm just getting a call. I have an appointment.
Okay, so call me back. I should be out of here by 1.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow or some other time.
Okay, beautiful.
Because I just have an appointment at 1, and I just get in a right
Okay,
there
well,
right
no
now.
problem. Okay, buddy.
All right.
Take it easy.
Yeah,
All right, great. Hello, good afternoon. Hello? Good afternoon. Are you there?
Yes.
Good afternoon. Okay, so we lost this one. Let's take this one. Hello, good afternoon.
Champion,
My brother.
do you realize that the SLP diehard, the leaders, when they go in for interview, they don't go to Rick Wayne, they don't go to Timothy Polio and those guys, or Jay Elliott?
Well, you can't blame them. I don't think they'll be able to handle the question. And they have their own radio stations. They have choice. They have whatever, all the other radio stations on the TV stations. So they'll be more comfortable there.
No. Our great Prime Minister, Anna Michael goes to everybody.
Everyone.
And the solution is there's something wrong with that picture. Why are they running away from certain journalists? St. Lucia, why is Philip Pierre and Kenny Anthony running away from Timothy Polio, Rick Wayne, and Mr. Dale Elliott? Ask yourself that question. They're going to who? A man that's not even a journalist. And they can play readers, jokers. You know what I'm saying? What's that? I remember in Barbados got a guy called David Ellis that is dealing with those politicians. Bermuda got a guy called, he used to be there, was, what's his name now? Gary Marino. I don't care where you are, they're calling you and questioning you. But
yeah,
these men running from the leading journalist of St. Lucia, I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I have a big problem with that. Anyhow, Champagne, don't forget, your mayor job is coming up. You could be mayor of Marsha.
Listen to me. If I'm made the mayor of Marsha instantly, and I'm making this is not a promise. This is an assurity. If I'm the mayor of Marsha, immediately working with the minister, you must see a change within the first 100 days. I could guarantee you that. That is not a joke. Anyway,
I told you will do better up here.
By far, that's not even a question. All right, buddy. Thank you. Have a good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Can you turn down the radio, please, or the television set? Thank you. Turn down the. Hello, can you turn down your device, please? Oh, we lost this one. All right, this person didn't want to speak to me. Special good afternoon to you. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Champagne.
Yes.
I heard a lady called you all a little earlier on when you were with Mr. Shastney and Mr.
Yes. Josie.
Yes. And I can feel the lady. I really felt that lady. That lady is from the north.
Apparently.
I'm worried about our representative.
Yes, I think she's worried.
I am from the north.
Uh-huh.
And I am worried about our representative.
Okay.
I may not have seen him showing what he has done in his territory, but I know, Champagne, that he has worked hard for everybody.
I know he has.
He has worked hard for the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
But that does not mean that, you feel as if there's nothing to show, as if, I don't know, maybe, and you just give up on your people. You're not coming out to your people. You're not talking to your people. I mean, practically everything we have seen being done, he is behind it.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Practically everything that has been built, he is behind it. I know that. We know that. But come out to us. Don't wait until it's like the Labour Party said they want to go for elections. Election should be coming out, and they don't have somebody to put there.
So here's what I can say, because I know you would remember the 2016 election leading up to the 2016.
Yes, there was still that same story too.
But then after all, the Honorable Stephenson King came out in his colors, and everyone, the doubters were put straight, and everything was okay. So I'm not saying that it should be. I'm not saying that it should be that same sentiment, but then at least we know the gentleman is a reserved person. I'm not making any excuses to anyone. I don't even know what to say to you, and I've gotten these calls all week. For the last 2 weeks, people have been calling me, what is going on? I've gotten so many calls from the United States, Canada, England, everywhere. and I don't have an answer. The only person that could answer those calls and the concerns is the Honorable Stevenson King. And for me, if you ask me, and I'm going to say this now, if you ask me, based on the concerns of the people, I think it is about time that he makes a statement.
Of course, I do agree.
That's just me.
I do agree. Because let me tell you, Mr. King won that election by and far. Let me tell you, he didn't roll on the people, huh?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't fall on them, huh?
He roll over them.
Let me tell you, he blast them.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you blast them, it means that the people were all behind you.
The people love him.
And the people love you. So don't treat your people like that. Let me tell you, when I see Mr. King, I feel him. I can feel it. I can feel the way. I don't know. I don't know for you.
But caller, he's doing work in his constituency, though.
He is doing work in the constituency. I know. As a matter of fact, I see big machinery.
Yeah.
Looking down to come down to go down to the school. I think they will be fixing up the Vidbutoy school.
Yeah, he did a lot.
He's doing work.
He did some nice concrete roads. But well, you see. Well, and I'm still saying I don't want to speak on behalf of the minister, but there's a lot of concrete work I saw being done in the Kareli area. There's stuff in the schools, so I don't know.
To me, practically everything that has been done in St. Lucia, he's behind it because he's the minister. Isn't he the
infrastructure.
Minister of infrastructure?
So your concern is that based on the propaganda that is put out there,
there's a lot of propaganda.
You would just like to hear him.
For the last minute to just appear at a show with your people and showing us that you there. No, don't treat us like that. Because like I told you, we blasted the people out. You understand?
Yeah.
You don't treat your people like that. And he is well loved. That's somebody that we don't speak bad about at all.
No.
Because he is a loving person.
He is.
And he is Christian. You know, so you don't treat your people like that.
So let me ask you.
You don't have to invite him. He has to come in.
Thank you very much. So
you don't have to invite him. Come on.
Let me ask you now.
Put on that humble coat again. Don't go too proud. Put on that humble coat again. The humble coat for your people. Don't think of other people, the fellas in parliament. Think of your people. You're there for them.
And that is allowing the Labour Party to speak so much nonsense. We have heard so much nonsense.
The Labour Party is using that.
Yes.
Let me tell you, the Labour Party is smart.
Yeah. They're using all that.
Anywhere they see that is not covered, they will take care of it. If they notice that you're not speaking about your older members, they will come and compliment your older members. They are smart. The Labour Party, look, they use techniques. Give them that. So let me tell you, he needs to come out.
All right, caller. Well, the outcry.
That's somebody that we love. Come out and speak to your people.
Like I said to you, the outcry is there because I have my phone every single day, and I don't have an answer for all of the callers. So I don't know. Let's wait and see what Mr. King will say on his behalf.
Anyway, I wish him all the best.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Thank you, darling.
Bye-bye.
All right, beautiful. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello.
Yes, Chaplain. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, you.
Good afternoon.
I can hear you.
Yes, Chaplain, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It's something to see what I saw on DBS News. Marsha for 2 minutes.
Are you speaking from a distance? You sound like you're not speaking into the phone, and there's a kind of echo.
No, because I have my let me put it on.
Yeah, speak.
Something.
Yes, thank you very much. Much better.
Yeah. Yo, I saw Philip JP on DBS News.
Yeah.
And the state of Marsha and Slurry look better than Marsha.
Of course. Of course.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying on him. I'm not lying on Philip JP. When they ask him why you do things for Marsha, but he keep on talking about around the hill, he do attack on around the hill.
What part?
And what that really takes me, I don't know. That's what he said. What really let me something this morning when I was walking the DBS JP said he will give all scholars land, and no, he will let them get loan to build houses around. How do you think that?
So he has moved from giving them to making them get loans. So what's going to be next? He will changes all the time.
But Champagne,
yeah,
that's a lie. You cannot get loan if the land is not yours.
Exactly. Exactly.
You understand? Why keep on lying to people?
Yeah.
Making people get off sin.
Same lies, same bluffs all the time. They continue. When will they stop, Colin?
Yeah,
when will they stop?
Yeah, and to show you, the man, our Prime Minister always come on TV with his Flambeau t-shirt on.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? He come with a polo assassin t-shirt.
A polo what?
Okay. That's to show you, he know the party he in right now and making no sense. He just bring out the polo assassin t-shirt on it.
Yeah.
Okay? Why you don't put your SLP t-shirt big and bold? Like the Prime Minister put his t-shirt big and bold.
Yeah. What do you think about what happened last week, Caller? What do you think about what happened in regards to the sanctions that were lifted on the police department from the U.S.?
Oh my God! But I talked about that with you.
Yes, we did last week. Yes, on Friday. You see, I'm trying to stay away from the Philippines because talking about Philippines is like talking about nothing really, because these people have.
Now let's talk about the police, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the police.
Mm-hmm.
The police. What happened there is 100% yes for the Prime Minister.
That's right.
You understand? The Prime Minister working for something. Again, as I call my former you for, do not vote for party because your party, that's the party you're supporting. Vote for, you for.
Vote for yes. Vote for your community. Vote for your livelihood. Yeah. Kola, am I losing you? Am I losing you? Hello?
I have thousands of farmers. Yeah?
Okay, go ahead. I can hear you.
Yes. I have thousands of farmers doing before. Okay?
Okay.
In Rosa Valley cell, I have the half of the people in Rosa Valley is family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I talk to my already. What's trading? What please? Okay? The boy that one is trading, I know that boy. Anyway. That boy is formerly. You understand?
Yeah, I could barely hear you. Apparently, you're breaking up. Maybe you might have to relocate, but you're breaking up really badly.
Yeah, because my job is right there.
Oh, you're at work.
Yeah, let me go outside. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're breaking up really badly there.
You heard me now?
Much better.
You heard me now?
Yeah. I'll give you another minute.
I went outside, yes.
Yes, okay.
Oh, yes. That boy that running against trading, they never SLP. All their life, they're UWP.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we think, okay, I come from down there, I will support the Labour Party.
Yeah, that's not how it's done.
No. You know?
That's not how it works.
Let people fool you, young man.
That's not how it works.
Fool you.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, that's not, you know?
Yeah.
You know? And again, Prime Minister Sase, if you listen to the show, I see you don't roll in the please, I'm begging you, please. I want you to that place.
Yes.
I
agree, Caller. Roseau should be much better than what it is today. I agree with you 100%.
Yes.
I agree with that.
You know?
100%.
You know? I want Roseau to be, yes. Okay? Every Prime Minister come in and give Roseau, I will take out Roseau, I will take out Roseau.
No, they don't have to take them out. They just have to develop the place. Yes, I agree with you.
Yes. Yes, let them be on top.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, I agree.
Let them be on top of the houses. You understand? You know?
All right, caller. Where you calling from? New York?
Yeah, Brooklyn, yeah.
Brooklyn, okay. All right. Well, I hope you have a great afternoon, darling. Okay?
Yeah, man. I want to know when Friday we'll be on the air. What you do?
Okay. All right, beautiful. Friday will be there again one of these days.
Right.
Thanks a lot, caller. All right, beautiful. That was a beautiful caller from London. Hello, from New York City. Hello, good afternoon. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Champagne?
Yes?
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yes. I'm calling to make a contribution.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Yeah. that sanction the United States have lifted up against the police force.
Yes.
That is a tremendous achievement by our Prime Minister.
Yes, I agree.
And I'm a first caller to your program.
Thank you. You calling from New York or St. Croix?
I'm calling from St. Croix. You know me very well. You might not.
I might not remember.
You might remember me now.
Okay.
You know me very, 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 very well.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Now, you know why this thing happened?
Mm-hmm.
Two things. Because my Prime Minister has this great negotiation skill.
That's right. That's right.
And the confidence that the United States have in this Prime Minister, and the trust and his honesty,
mm-hmm.
that's some of the reason, that's my personal belief, that this sanction was lifted.
I agree.
And all countries and the police force, everybody should be happy, because right now the United States will provide them with the necessary tools that they need to continue fighting the crime on behalf of all citizens.
Indeed.
And it's hat off for the United Workers' Party. And also Sarah Flood must be complimented too. She should not left behind.
That's right. That is right, caller. Well said. Yeah. Well said. How is St. Croix today?
St. Croix, we have nice weather today.
Okay.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
I heard there are a lot of you guys up there listening to Sky FM, and we're thankful for that.
Oh, Champion, every day myself and my wife are there listening to you. Or I was there listening to Brother Jules. I wanted to call Brother Jules, but I couldn't get through.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, Brother Jules is my friend.
Okay.
He's my good friend.
All right. So next Wednesday, maybe.
Yeah, when he comes to me, come from Niku, when he comes there, he's my neighbor. You can always tell him that, so he can tell you who I am.
What's the name? What's your name?
Shasni.
Shasni. Who said that? Your wife? I heard somebody in the background say Shasni.
Yeah, but the other Shasni is from Niku.
Okay. How are you? Good afternoon to you.
We're good. I'm happy that we have a landslide. I'm back my way to that.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right.
Yeah, we listen every day. Yes. We don't have every time sometimes we try to call, we don't get through.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you. Let me give you the bell again. It's nice to hear your voice. Thank you very much. All right. Have a good day.
Program. Very good.
Thank you very much.
And hello?
Yeah, I'm there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying that guy, Mangal, is also my cousin.
Timothy?
Yeah, Timothy is my cousin.
Okay, all right. Wow.
And when you talk to him, I wanted to meet him to give him some information, but in fact, Timothy was the one who did my drawing for me.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, he will be making some more appearances here, so maybe you could give him a call. I'll let you know when he's going to be on. All right?
Okay, all right.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Blessed day. And you continue the good works.
Thank you, sir.
And I hope St. Christian is listening. I hope St. Christians are brilliant people. They are very intelligent people. They will make the right choice.
Amen.
When the time comes.
All right.
Let our hearts not be troubled.
Amen to that.
My prediction is 15-2, but I give them 2, but that's my prediction.
I want 17-0. They're too miserable. Thank you, caller. All right,
mine is a landslide.
Okay. Okay. All right, have a good afternoon. All right, thank you. All right, some beautiful people. All right, great. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Champagne.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. You want to turn down the radio just a little, please?
Sorry,
yes, just slightly, or the TV.
I thought I'd done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to have another sensible conversation here with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I want us to be frank and honest to ourselves and to St. Lucians, right?
Yeah.
We've had these two parties in St. Lucia governing St. Lucia for a number of years.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I would find it rather hard to believe that depending on, it doesn't matter which side of the fence that you are standing on, whether it's the yellow side of the fence or the red side of the fence. I would hate to believe that I cannot look at St. Lucia and pinpoint at least 10 achievements of the United Workers' Party. And I would hate to believe that I cannot, on the other hand, pinpoint at least 10 achievements of the Labour Party.
What kind of achievements are you looking at?
In all aspects of St. Lucia.
What kind?
In all aspects.
Okay, so give me the ones that you were expecting to see then.
That what?
The achievements that you personally were expecting to see, which ones would you expecting to see?
No. I'm not talking about expectation, right? What I'm saying is, St. Lucia is where it is today, not through any one government. We've had these two parties governing St. Lucia for the past years, right, since adult suffrage, right? We've had these two parties running the government of St. Lucia. And St. Lucia is where it is at today, not because of any one government. I may dislike the Labour Party. They have achieved certain things in St. Lucia.
Do you believe, let me ask you, so you said we're going to have a sensible conversation, so let's engage each other. Do you believe in any job that everyone performs at the same level?
No.
Okay, so would you also believe that the Labour Party has not lived up to the expectations of the way the UWP has? Would you agree with that?
I am not going to go to that length.
But then we're not going to have, so then we're not going to have a sensible conversation, my friend.
Let's be real.
But I am being real, but you're not being real. Listen, wait, so hold on. Wait a minute. And every time we call, it looked like we're having an argument. You and I just said, I asked you, I gave you the example of, would you say that everyone in a job doesn't perform at the same level? You said you believe that. They don't. So what is the difference between two people working on a job and two administrations' performances? There must be one that is performing much better.
I'm not saying no. No two individuals are like. Your mother may have 10 children. None of these 10 children are going to,
I agree with that.
To do the same
I agree with that.
You understand me? But what I'm saying is, you and I, right? Let's say you and I are both contractors, right? We both build homes, right? Depending on where somebody is looking. Okay, somebody comes in and say, "What? That house built by Champagne Boy? That is a magnificent piece of building, right?" Another person will come and say, "Well, you know that wall over there is crooked." You understand what I'm saying?
I agree. That's criticism.
And somebody else will look at, "Wow, that guy over there makes him say really is a good builder, you know."
Yeah.
Somebody else come and say, "You know what? That column over there is crooked." You understand me? But I'm saying St. Lucia is where it is in terms of development, not through one government. Both governments have done things that
we
are worthy
also
of
need to. Yes, I agree.
Have done things that St. Lucians are not happy.
I agree. But we also have to balance up the performances by the two. We have to do it. I am not saying listen.
That depends, bro, on what side of the fence that you are standing on.
No. We have to speak in general, and if we're going to do based on particular, we're being biased. Let us be realistic and let us be as solutions. The Labour Party has done some work, but they have not done in the extent of what the UWP has done. It's a fact, my friend. I mean, you may not agree with that.
You want me to engage you on that, brother?
Engage me.
You want me to engage
Please,
you on that?
I give you 2 more minutes because I have to leave and then I have some more calls. Yeah.
I grew up in Miku.
Yeah.
Right? Miku had a dilapidated police station for years. Right? Under which administration did we get a proper police station and a proper fire service?
I know
the administration.
I know all the history of that.
Now, our healthcare, right, had been in shambles for years in Miku, right? Under who did we get a new facility under Dr. Rigobert.
Yes, I was about to go there with you.
So let's look at the development of Miku North, right? Let's look at the development of Miku North. It has been under both parties.
But are you okay?
For Miku, as far as I'm concerned, when you look at the development
so
of
which
Miku,
development? Great. Now that is where I was going with you earlier, and I was saying you let us see the various performances, and there must be one that is outnumbering the other. Under which administration that the farmers had a slight chance to make some money?
Under which administration have the farmers made some money?
In Mikud.
Let me tell you something.
I only give you two. No, but if we're going to generalize, but hold on, my brother, and that is why I have to come to your house one of these days so you and I could sit. We have made that promise to each other. If we're going to generalize, we need to generalize from way back. We cannot just go immediately. So
but what I'm saying, those very same farmers were able to build homes in Miku, right? They were able to build homes, send the children to school on the banana industry, right?
Yes.
Today, those very same farmers cannot survive.
Because of what?
These are the persons who have to migrate from St. Lucia, go overseas.
So in 1992, listen to me, because I want to engage you there. In 1992, which leading up to the 1997 elections, who that you heard destroyed all of the banana plantations and burned up all the sheds?
I never heard the Labour Party did that.
I didn't say it. Listen,
up to now,
my brother, you and I need to be realistic.
You cannot go out there and say so and so.
I didn't say it was the Labour Party. I did not say that. But you know for sure. No, you know.
No, I don't know who burned the shed.
You know the operatives did it. You know the operatives did it. My brother, listen to me. I am going to be ignorant and say, well, I shouldn't say you know, but it is alleged that the Labour Party operatives were the ones that destroyed 52 banana sheds and burned off all plantations.
And in the absence of verification, being able to verify that, I cannot jump to that conclusion.
Well, maybe not you, but I can.
I can say also that some of the persons, it is alleged, who burned the sheds, who were peddlers, who were United Workers Party.
Don't even say that. Don't even come. No. Don't. My brother, the coupe pa coupe. My brother, wait a minute. But you know the history. You're an intelligent man. Wait. So you are trying to insult what I know. The coupe pa coupe era. You know who started it. You know where it came from. If you are my brother, you and I have to sit somewhere. No, but that is what I'm saying. You were going. No. Wait. I only went down that road because you said the farmers that made all the money during the banana era are not surviving today. And I went down that road to tell you during 1992, when bananas were still up there, they went and cut down the farmers' plantations and burned their sheds. The Labour Party operatives did it. And you know that, my friend. Don't tell me you don't.
I don't know that.
Listen, I'm going to make a set on a point. Listen to me. You and I will promise each other to have a sit down. I'll be very happy to come to your house this coming week.
Give me my few seconds. Let me just.
I give you a few seconds. Yeah.
Just give my few seconds. My last point on this, brother.
Yeah.
Is hate Alan Shastney as you may. There must be something you can give him a thumbs up for.
Yes.
Love him as you may. There must be something you can say, Prime Minister, you could have done that different.
Of course, he's a human being.
Hate Kenny Anthony as you may, you must look at one thing and you'll be able to give him a thumbs up. Love him as you may, there must be some critical thing that you can say to him. You know, that
Kenny Anthony, I have always said the 2-lane road, although it was not built with the specifications, the width it was supposed to be, the 2-lane roads from the VG roundabout to the Shock roundabout, where we were having a lot of backups back in the late 90s. I gave him a thumbs up for that. All day, I believe it was supposed to be done wider. But I gave him the thumbs up. I went on the radio to criticize it, and I went on the radio when it was completed to applaud him on it. But Kenny Anthony, in my mind, is the laziest prime minister ever walked the earth. So we'll talk another time, my friend. Okay?
Okay, my brother.
All right, beautiful. That is my buddy down there in the Beaufort, in the Miku North area. He and I were supposed to have a little sit down, and I know where he is. We're on separate sides. But I would love to engage him in a beautiful conversation. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good day, Mr. Champagne.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Champagne.
Yes, how are you?
Yeah, this is the program, very entertaining.
Entertaining.
I think I did hear somebody say to you some time ago, and I know you're an experienced one because you've been in the business.
Yeah.
But somehow I want to just hit myself because this gentleman who's been calling you, our station is to push the agenda of their station.
Yes.
Not to give this gentleman time to consume 5-10 minutes, and he's made it again and again, and you allow him.
Yeah.
Don't allow the gentleman. Let him call his other shows to push his agenda.
Yeah.
If you want to go to his home and be a nice person to man,
yeah, I think we should have that sit down there instead. Yes, of the radio. Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, and never let him come back again on this show.
Well, I don't know who's calling. That's the thing.
And he's asking, well, when as soon as you make him out, you tell him, sir, I mean, we've spoken before. And he made reference to the Makewood police station. I think this was mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
It may become the former prime minister who may have initiated the process.
Yes.
But as far as I understand it, this police station is still being paid for.
Caller, I have all the details on it. I just didn't want to go down there.
Well, yeah, you should have told him because I was solely some agreement that was arrived out with the contractor, and that is still being paid for. So really and truly, the gentleman actually has not actually done the full processing.
Well, in all fairness, in all fairness, the administration at the time has to be taking the credit. In all fairness. Even if we know where the financial aspects came from and who was responsible for the actual funding and everything, but you have to give the credit to the government of the day. Isn't that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
yes,
fair enough. Yes. But I will just hang up. But before I hang up, I'm saying this gentleman, whosoever he is, let him go on other shows. The agenda right now is to campaign for your party to win the next election.
I agree, my friend. Thank you on that. All right, have a good one. And in all fairness, the caller is right, but then I really don't ever hang up on anyone if they are going off track. The gentleman and we always have a little, I think I'm giving him too much time, but he wants to vent make his contribution, but I really do have other people. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Champion.
Good afternoon, my friend.
I heard the discussion that went on.
Yes.
Between you and this gentleman. Champagne, the issue at hand, I think, is making a comparison between the performance of the two administrations.
That's what I was trying to say.
I wouldn't say that the former administration did not do anything.
And I didn't say that either.
As others would like to say of say Sir John or even Alan Chastney.
Right.
You hear some people say that. The issue is comparison.
That is right.
You know, so you need to compare the performance of the two parties.
And I brought up the example in regards to people working at a business place. Not every staff member works in the same manner. Some are more, a little.
On the issue of support from the St. Lucia Labour Party versus support from the UWP. Or in other words, he was suggesting that supporters of both political parties were engaged in the coup.
Yeah, I couldn't understand that.
Champagne, I mean, where is this man living?
He lives in the Mico North area.
Champagne?
Yeah.
As far as I know, all the persons who were involved in this type of activity were supporters of the St.
I've heard that as well, my friend.
And I will tell you further. I observed the leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party visiting the homes of one of the leaders of this campaign, as I might call it.
Yeah.
On more than one occasion.
Okay.
Do you think the discussions were about how to make ice cream?
No, I don't think it was.
So Champagne.
Not just that, caller. The two individuals that were shot by the police in the Tomaso area, I think it was, or Grand Riviere.
Yeah.
When the Labour Party got in office, those bodies were exhumed and they were reburied, and Dr. Anthony's administration paid for the entire transaction. You remember that, right?
There was a monument.
People were compensated.
There was a monument
Yes.
Just near the
yes.
bridge.
What does that say? What does that say?
Champagne.
What does that say? And as a matter of fact, every year, last year I think, or the year before, my friend Pat Joseph, there was some ceremony there to recognize those things that happened down there. Okay.
On the day of the funeral of one of the guys at the Larish's church.
Yeah.
Almost everybody who went there was dressed in red.
Everyone was dressed in red, huh? Okay. You see, I did not even know that. What does that say? I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out for yourself. If a prime minister, people who were involved in acts of violence, they were sending stones after police or maybe shooting after police, they in return got themselves killed. The government, the opposition party at the time, came into government, compensated the families, reburied, exhumed those guys, brought them into another area, built a monument, and look, now you just said the funeral service, everyone was dressed in red. What does that say?
Champagne, I don't even
come on.
argue as to
exactly.
who was involved.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. But quickly, Champagne, on a new issue. I know you said you don't...
Yeah, I'm leaving in 2 minutes.
You don't want to hear much about Philip J. Pierre.
Not that, no, listen, not that I don't want to hear about it. We have spoken about this guy since so many times.
Okay, you cut in on my 2 minutes. I listened to Nova's show.
Yeah.
And I heard Mr. Pierre in an interview with Jada.
Yeah.
And Mr. Pierre said, Champagne, that the Labour Party was the one who gave public servants the highest increase in the land, and that was 60%.
60%, I heard him.
And actually turned around, and said to Jada, oh, you didn't know that, eh?
Yeah.
Champagne, when we speak of public servants in St. Lucia, who do we normally refer to?
The workers. JJ was astonished, though.
Champagne?
JJ was astonished.
Champagne in 1979. The lawyer who died some time ago, he was one of the leaders of the St. Lucia Labour Party.
Mr. Dieterville, no?
No, Foster.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mr. Foster was the Minister for Labour.
Mm-hmm.
And he arbitrarily, it was said, it is alleged, signed on that 60% increase for daily paid workers.
Daily paid workers,
not public servants.
Not, okay.
So much so that this created a stir in government because they argued that it would create an imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
And it did.
Okay.
Because there are some institutions where there were both daily paid workers and monthly paid workers.
Right.
And the 60% increase created an anomaly.
I see.
I'll give you one example.
Yeah.
In schools, at that time, the watchmen worked 12 hours, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Right.
And when those guys got their salary, in some of the schools, only the principals got a higher salary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she was not...
Because there was a joke that some teachers were saying the day there is a vacancy for a watchman, they'll resign and take
and take the watchman job instead. Right. Okay.
In order to address that,
they
decided they would split it. They would have one watchman working up to midnight and then the other one from midnight to 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one way of dealing with the situation.
All right.
And then on weekends and on holidays, they would have other persons working. So the regular watchmen would not work on weekends and holidays. You would have another set of persons working on the same 6 to midnight and midnight to 6 regime. That was the way, the manner in which they dealt with that arbitrary increase and one-man decision, many of them said, by Mr. Foster.
All right.
So it was the daily paid workers, not
okay. All right, beautiful.
Thank you, Shafi.
Don't forget, I'm still waiting for that call. And you said we were supposed to have a sit down.
I sent you something.
Oh, you did? Okay, well, I'll check it out.
Look at it.
All right, my brother. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
All right, beautiful. So you are my final caller. I know you've been waiting. Hello, good afternoon. This is the final call for the day. Hello?
The Bible tells you patience is a virtue.
Sorry about the wait.
That's okay. Champagne, let me tell you, young lady who called you all this morning, and she was speaking about Mr. King.
Yeah.
I just want the UWP supporters to just stay still. We say we are praying, but we are not staying still. Remember Philip J. Pierre? After Joachim did what he did, he said the party is about technique and tactics. Sean Edwards came again on Yadi and them. He said that he used the same words, technique and tactics, when he was referring to the seats and whatever pertaining to like King might switch or do whatever. Remember 2016, around that time, the Labour Party is always using Stevenson King to make a massacre around election time. They know the kind of man Stevenson King is. Stevenson King is not a ferocious man. He's not an outspoken person like these other politicians.
Yeah.
From day one, we've known him to be that way.
That's true.
You know? So they're going to press and push his buttons and press. Even if he may have a problem, they want to do it in a way that people can say yes and add pressure to him. But I will tell the people to just stay still.
Yeah, and apparently it's working because people now, based on the propaganda they're hearing,
exactly, because the opposition know how to do it. They know what to do. So it's the UWP supporters there now that have to know the tricks and the techniques and the tactics of the Labour MPs, the Labour camp rather. Okay? 2016 they did the same.
A lot of noises.
King came on a platform and what did he shout?
Yeah, you pay. You pay. That's right. You're right.
That's right. So the lady that is, I know it probably frustrating you all a little bit, but just hold your grounds. Hold your grounds. Remember to keep your eyes on the price.
That's right.
And the price is for us to re-elect the UWP back into office, because that's why we put them there. We put them there for us to know about the dirty deeds of the Labour Party under the Kenny Anthony administration from 97.
Yeah, from 97.
From 97.
That is right.
And there is not one UWP supporter that will say that they are disgruntled with the effort of this administration and the amount of information that was put out there that we didn't know.
I agree with you 100%.
Not one.
I agree with you, Colin. I agree with you.
Not one. And we just need to sit down there and stay still and just watch. And when the Prime Minister give that date, we know what we have to do.
Amen to that. 2016,
we gave him that mandate because the country, nothing wasn't happening in that country. We were going down, whereas America puts sanctions. I don't know if people know the meaning of sanctions.
They know well.
On our country that never happened before.
They know well.
The Labour Party never happened before. And they say that the Prime Minister is not working. He is working. Nothing not happening overnight. Nothing is happening overnight. The Labour Party ministers, they themselves selling out their own self because they're so frightened. They don't know what will happen. God have them there, and
you know why?
About their own selves.
You know why there's that fright and that desperation, and I've not said it before, and I'm going to say it now for all of the world. The guys from the Labour Party has no avenue to make money. They don't know how to work to make any other forms of money. No other form of income. They only could depend on the poor people's money. So when these guys lose that next election, a lot of guys will go crazy. Tell me what you know Sean Edwards is into. Tell me what you know Hila is into. Tell me what you know Pierre is into. Tell me what you know Dr. Anthony is into. Tell me what you know Mosa is into. What are the sources of revenue generation for personally? Not for what form of revenue have they even gotten for themselves? Do they have a business? Are they working somewhere? You know what I'm saying, Kola? They are afraid for their own dear lives. That is the problem.
But that's what they are afraid for. And another thing I have to say, they complaining about the Prime Minister borrowing.
Yeah.
Why should you be afraid about the Prime Minister borrowing money and you want to come inside of it? All you have to do is continue on the path that the Prime Minister left.
You know how many?
The economy, and you have no problem to pay your loans.
You know the amount of trillions of dollars.
Problem.
You know the amount of trillions of dollars America is owing China. The mighty America, the world's number one economy.
Bigger countries that they're owing.
Everybody borrows, caller. Everybody borrows.
They complain, but listen,
Champagne.
Under that current situation that we are in there, if the Prime Minister had sit down his butt and say, I am not borrowing a dime, how would we have been today?
In a lot of problems. We're doing so much better than a lot of people.
We Lucians need to learn to give and take. We need to appreciate. We need to open our eyes and give thanks when God is opening avenues for this little land of ours.
Amen.
Okay?
All right.
We need to give thanks. And God tell them already, when a man do good to you, do not pay him back with badness.
Amen.
And I'm telling Kenny and Pierre and all of them, stop talking about borrowing. Tell us what y'all are going to do to continue paying the loans.
They cannot say.
If the IMF will come back to y'all and tell y'all something happened a second time, or if y'all have a plan for the IMF, like Alan Shas, they had a plan going up and down for 3 years, making them trust him again and drawing that plan out as to how he will be paying off the loan. If they cannot do that, they're not ready. Yeah. They need to take a back seat and allow the man to do his work.
Amen.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. And let me emphasize on that. The banks, big banks, borrow money from other banks. So who are we? There are banks in the world that the monies that they have in there, they could buy St. Lucia 1 million times. And they borrow money from other banks. So who is St. Lucia that they know? The good thing for St. Lucia is that we are able to pay back. And we have a good creditor there in the person of Alan Shasley that could borrow money and pay back, put a plan, put something on the side to pay back, even if we have a shortfall. We had a huge shortfall. I don't even call that a shortfall. I call that a long fall with the coronavirus. Did we crumble? Did we crumble? We were down, but we were not out. And why is that? Because we had a great leader, manager. Callers, I know you continue to call me. Yes, my phone lines are going, but I have been sitting there from 9, and there's another program coming up in a little bit, so I'm unable to take your calls. I really would like to apologize, and that you could hear me tomorrow morning, God willing, for a little bit, because we have the police officers coming in tomorrow. They're doing the hosting of the programs now, boy, and that is good stuff. They did a great job last Thursday in hosting the programs. Coming up right after me at 2 o'clock, Natoya will be in studio, and then this afternoon, the man Dr. Secret. This evening, we have Miss Nancy Charles coming on, so we have a packed house for you today. I will be back with you tomorrow morning, God willing, St. Lucia. We want to say thank you very much for tuning in to Sky FM. Don't forget, we are into an election year, and we have to weigh the balance and always make the determination. Make your own judgment between the two political parties. We have been asking the Labour Party, I have been asking them, Dr. Secret have been asking them, give us a video. Give us a video from 2011. We don't want to go back all the way when you guys started in 97. That we're not going to see too much. But give us a video of all of what you guys did from 2011 to 2016. Allow us to play it here so all of St. Lucia could make their comparison between 2016 to 2021, and we have to also recognize of the coronavirus, so that took off a year and a half away. But bring in your resume. Bring your resume here to Sky FM, and let us play it for St. Lucia to see. You narrate it yourself, and let us play it, and we're going to make the comparison between your 2011 to 2016 and the comparison of this administration from 2016 to 2021. And if the St. Lucian people is in favor of what you guys did, they're going to elect you. Also, give us your future plans. Bring it up here on Sky FM, your future plans. We're going to play it here for all of the world to see. And we're going to make the comparison between the future plans of this government from 2021 to 2026 and beyond, and we're going to play yours. We have been asking for that. We have not been getting it. In the House of Parliament, we have been asking for you guys to show your slides. Every parliamentarian on the government side showed what they did in their constituency, what they have been doing for the last 5 years. Everybody saw it. None of you guys from the Labour Party, none of you all could have come in there and show one photo. Not one single video from Kenny to Pierre to none of you all could have shown one project from 2011 to 2016. And you're saying to me, you have no proof of anything, no achievements, and St. Lucians are supposed to just get up on a Monday morning or whatever day the election is called and go into a polling station and put an X by Labour Party? It can't be real. This is unrealistic. This is unrealistic for someone. We have thousands of young people in Dr. Anthony's constituency for the first time. Young people are leaving Castries. When I see that, I marvel at that. Young people are leaving Castries, taking a bus, going down to VA4 to work. For decades, it was the total opposite. People from the south have to get up early in the morning. As far as Salty Bus shows, they'll get up early in the morning to come up to Castries to earn a living. A total transformation, a total change has been happening for the last couple of years. People from the north now are migrating down to the south. They are going to seek housing. They are going down to work. What does that say? And you're saying to me, the St. Lucian people, the people of Viewfort, Mamai Viewfort, 20 free truck Zordi, Yotiada Canal and Shantytown in 2018. 20 free truck Zordi, play, and they only did half, or 3/4 of it. A representative have been sitting there for 25 years, didn't see it necessary to unblock those drains, to take off all of that debris and this filth from this constituency. And that same individual, 71 years old, is putting himself up. He has no agility, has no zest, has no power. I'm not just saying this thing to come down on the man. Age is a number. I mean, I would love to get to 71 years if God bless me. I'd be happy. Okay? Life and death is in the hands of the great God. But you cannot say to me, at that time of your life, you have not shown anything. No agility. It's not like Alan Chastney that keeps moving. This man is like an energizer bunny. You did a little dance down there, you could barely move your feet. And you're saying to me, young people are supposed to look at you based on those bases and vote for you? To say what? I want Dr. Anthony one of these days to call me here, and tell me, Champagne, I want young people to vote for me, and there's my reason. I want Dr. Anthony to call me here one of these days, or send me a text. 7182991 is my personal number, and I'm going to read it. Say to me, Champagne, I am putting my ticket, I'm putting my ticket up again. This is what I'm going to do for the young people of Beaufort. Voibamwe, let me read it. Or you yourself call. There's various reasons why people vote. Various reasons. People vote on a pretty face. People vote on a handsome guy. People vote on speech. People vote on policies. People vote on when you give them a very nice futuristic plan. There are various reasons why people vote. And I don't see there's a reason for Kenny Anthony to be re-elected in this coming election. And I'm at him. Why are you at him, Champagne? You always keep talking about, because he did a lot of nonsense in our country. A lot of atrocities. When a man believes he has the right to sell off a country, you came into this world. This country doesn't belong to you. The great God built this place up. And you think you have the authority to sell it? All of the seabed, just sell it? I mean, who does that? Promise a guy 4,000 acres of property on the East Coast? They told you don't go into La Parade Hills because it's a reserve area for a certain species of bird. And you disregarded that and built a monstrosity of La Parade Hill. And God showed you, he cursed it. God cursed that place. Even up until now, no developer wants to have anything to do with it. Why is that? You think God plays with people? God don't mess around, They told you, do not take that reserve property in Frigate Island. Frigate Island was the name of the place. Took it out, disregarded anything. National Trust didn't say a word. disregarded that, and put that monstrosity of a stupid building. I call it a stupid building because of the time it has spent there. It had promised to look like a nice hotel, but because of the curse that was put on it, a curse was put on that place there in Denry, La Paradelle. Not even a thing. This place, I'm understanding, is going very cheap now. I think it is going up for about $15 million with all the lands with it, and not one single investor wants it. Tell me, what does that say? A blight, a curse is put on that place. For that place to sell, it has to be knocked down and something fresh from the ground. Why? Because Kenny Anthony's hands was involved with it. These people have done a lot of stuff. This is why I'm on his case. He had destroyed my beautiful country, and he thought he had owned it. And this is why I'm going to continue to speak up here as long as the great God give me the breath to speak. These people have no business being in our parliament. You have another one from Labrie. People are taking a risk with their money, bringing in millions of dollars into a country to invest, to enable people. Nobody goes into a business to lose money. It happens, but people don't expect to lose. They go into business for a profit. But in the meantime, at that time, in the process, they employ your people. They give your people life. People could buy a car, they could own a home, have a piece of property. This is what business investment is. And you're going to stand up in a House of Parliament, not on a political platform, or in a little forum, in a House of Parliament, and acknowledge those people as leeches. I mean, come on. This is the character of the people that are supposed to represent the St. Lucian public in governance, calling investors a leech. I mean, I could sit there all afternoon. It's just that, boy, I wish I had some lunch already. If I did, I would have sat here until 2 o'clock because we have another program coming in. I have a man calling people a leech, calling investors leeches. This is how you express yourself as people that are putting up a risk with their monies. You know the amount of millions of dollars that people have lost in regards to businesses? Look at what the coronavirus has done. We don't know if the DSH project will survive because of the coronavirus. We don't know. A lot of businesses are taking a lot of licks. A lot of businesses will never reopen. Small businesses that have just started up during the coronavirus era has gone under. Thousands of businesses. And when a man put his hundreds or his 30 or his $40 million into an investment, and he gives your people of your country, the same people that you're going to represent or you want to represent, give them jobs, enable them to eat, to send the kids to school, buy a car, have a home, buy a piece of property, do or travel. You turn around and slap those investors in the face and call them a leech. As an intelligent individual, I have no respect for these people. I'm a very respectable person. I respect a lot of people. When people make those stupid statements, I have no regards for them. And Alva Baptiste is a gentleman I talk to when we cross paths at the airport. I see him all the time. We say hello to each other. I think you, my friend, one of these days, openly, you need to make an apology on that statement you made there at that house. You're a guy that's very vocal. You speak well, I must say. But that statement you made by calling investors leeches, people coming into your small country to invest money, you need to make an apology in the same house. Well, I don't know. I don't think you'll be back in the House of Parliament. But wherever you get that forum, make an apology to those people that you call leeches. These people didn't deserve that. If someone call you a thief, you will not be pleased. If one of the parliamentarians stand up in the House of Parliament and say, you are a thief, you will stand up on a point of order and ask the speaker to ask that person to take back that statement. I know you will. So why do you choose to call investors high respected people, high profile people, people that are risking their monies into investment of a country, and you're going to turn around and call those people as a man of parliament, someone that is supposed to be an honorable member, call those people leeches. I'm not happy about that, my friend, and I played it several times here. I'm going to continue to play it so St. Lucians could see the true colors of the Labour Party mindset. And on that note, St. Lucia, I want to say to you, have a great afternoon. My phones are still going on, but I lighten up, but I will not be able to take any calls because I have to leave the chair, make way for another announcer that's coming in another 32 minutes or 38 minutes. So you have a great afternoon, St. Lucia. We love you from Sky FM. We always do love you. All of our beautiful people, we love you and we thank you. for your daily contributions with the phones, and we thank you. For those of you who are making little financial contributions, we love you, we thank you. We will be showing you so much along with the beautiful people of GBD TV. We have a great crew with GBD TV, beautiful people as well, and we want to say a special thank you to them. You will be seeing a lot of stuff before the election, positive stuff, a lot of positivity you will be seeing. Those of you in the diaspora, we want to say thank you for always tuning in. I always see my screen is always packed with people from the United States of America, the UK, St. Croix, St. Thomas, everywhere, all around, Martinique, St. Martin, St. Thomas, all about. Thank you very much for tuning in and for staying with Sky FM. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow morning on the program, Champagne in the Morning. Coming up, the Toya will be at 2 o'clock. Until tomorrow, St. Lucia, you have a great afternoon. We love you from Sky FM. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to the program Champagne in the Morning with yours truly, your favorite